There really is E-King pill, monarch will pill? Yimo's sign immediately caught the attention of the people nearby, and this news spread like wildfire. E-King pill was the pill for Great Eternity Immortal to break through to Immortal King. It was rarer than level 8 Immortal pill. Monarch will pill was for Immortal King to break through to Immortal Monarch. It was unimaginably precious. Even Immortal Pill Grand Master find it very hard to concoct these two pills. Even the top Merchant Association and Merchant Tower didn't have these pills for sale. One could only buy these pills from massive auctions. The price isn't something ordinary people nor sects could afford. There wouldn't be a lot as well. Emo publicly started selling E-King pill, and Monarch will pill not only shocked all the Great Eternity Immortals and Immortal Kings but also shocked all the sections. Even Wei Feng Immortal Emperor came over to check when he got the news. When he saw that this was true, Yemo's danger level rose another level in his heart. Many Immortal Emperors knew Yemo was level 8 Immortal Pill Grandmaster, and was about to reach level 9, but no one expected he could sell E-King and Monarch will pills so casually. Although Yemo clearly stated that to buy these pills, there must be a Yu Peng Immortal Fruit of E-King pill and Jade Flow Void Wood for Monarch will pill, this was still very scary. The sign also stated that you can still buy these two pills without these two Immortal Spirit Herbs. You could buy it through other level 9 Immortal Spirit Herbs. The path of cultivation was very hard. This was the same even for the most talented Immortals. Not everyone had the 3-birth chant and bitter bamboo like Yemo. So Yemo's pills immediately attracted everyone. Great Eternity Immortals wanted to buy a E-King pill from Yemo at all costs, and Immortal Kings wanted a Monarch will pill at all cost. Due to this, the stalls at other merchant associations became not so popular. Even those merchant associations wanted to get a few of these top-level pills from Yemo. Because Yemo also had 1000-turn disaster surviving pill. This was the top 0 side effect Divine Damnation Immortal pill. It reduced heart demon and increased enlightenment. There was also Great Void Weaving pill that was top quality spirit sense and soul curing Immortal pill. Where would you usually be able to get this? That Immortal King wasn't angry at all and instead asked Shadowless with a sycophantic tone, "May I ask if there really is Monarch will pill here?" This Immortal King asked this, and all the Immortal Kings and Great Eternity Immortals were listening in. Shadowless said in contempt, "Would I trick a little Immortal King like you? Didn't you know I can eat an Immortal King with one gulp? I'll tell you now, there definitely is. First in best dressed until it's sold out. Then I want to trade a Monarch will pill," the Immortal King said, and then looked worriedly at Shadowless. Tang Beiwei quickly said, "You need to go inside to exchange for Monarch will pill. If you don't have Jade Flow Void Wood, the price is very high." Even though Shadowless said first in best dressed, no one wanted to go in first. They all saw how dominant Emo was, and no one wanted to try it first. If Emo just robbed their Immortal Spirit Herb, even Wei Feng Immortal Emperor wouldn't be able to get it back for them. The Immortal King hesitated before walking inside Yemo's cultivation home firmly. Sect leader Yi, Wanbei wants to trade for a Monarch will pill. The Immortal King went in and saw Yemo sitting inside a not-so-good-looking pill cauldron and bowed. Yemo could tell this Immortal King's tone was shaking, so he smiled. "Don't worry. I'm the sect leader of a sect. I'm not going to rob your Immortal Spirit Herb. Even if you get Chaos Spirit Herb, I won't rob it. If you just want to exchange for Monarch will pill, do you know my price? Yes, I have a Jade Flow Void Wood here and a level 9 Immortal Spirit Herb. There's also 6 level 8 Immortal Spirit Herb." The Immortal King carefully took the Immortal Spirit Herbs out. Yemo could tell this Immortal King had more Immortal Spirit Herb, but Yemo was happy with this. With this, he could concoct another cauldron of Monarch will pill. Yemo waved his hand and swept these Immortal Spirit Herbs away. "Not bad. These things can exchange for a Monarch will pill." The Immortal King saw Yemo take his things but not take out Monarch will pill, and he was shook. Clearly, he was worrying too much as Yemo gave a jade bottle to him the next moment. "This is a special grade Monarch will pill. Good luck." The Immortal King quickly opened it. He couldn't care if this would make Yemo unhappy. "Special grade Monarch will pill, it really is." The Immortal King murmured and remembered he was still in Yemo's cultivation home, so he quickly put away the jade bottle and bowed. "Thank you, Sect Leader Yi. Thank you, Chen Bei. Wanbei will leave now." He was Immortal King Tertiary stage now, just one step from Immortal Monarch. With this pill, he would probably have more than 60% chance of reaching Immortal Monarch. When this Immortal King went out, everyone couldn't wait anymore and all asked, "How is it?" This Immortal King didn't have the mood to talk here and just said, "It's right to go in, I'm going." Then he blinked and disappeared. He didn't want to say he got Monarch will pill, but he didn't want to offend Yemo by not saying anything. It seems he really got it. Probably did. Otherwise he wouldn't be like that. "This is nothing. I said that in the future people can even buy level 9 immortal pill from our sect," Shadowless said in contempt. Tang Beiwei quickly stopped Shadowless and said, "Chen Bais, my brother isn't going to trick you guys. If he says there is, then there is. Please get in on it early. Once my brother decides to leave, then there would be no more. I want to trade. I want to trade. Let's go in together." Tang Beiwei's extremely pure look and amicable tone made many immortal kings and great eternity immortals interested. They started going in teams. This time, people came out quicker. Some people deigned to want others to know what they got, but some people rejoiced. Some people even raised the jade bottle and praised, "This is extreme grade immortal pill." In a short time, Yemo's place became very busy. People started flocking to Yemo's place. Soon, the entire Jiakue immortal city knew about this. Many people came over to buy immortal pills from Yemo. The immortal pill grand masters of other merchant associations buying immortal spirit herbs had no competitive capability and could only watch Yemo take all these high-level immortal spirit herbs. So, those merchant associations took out high-level immortal spirit herbs to trade top-level pills from Yemo. As for the condition Yemo said that he would get priority in selecting a spirit item, he had already forgotten it. Yemo didn't have the time to check who got it. His hands were sore from collecting level 9 immortal spirit herbs now. "Don't push in line, who are you? You came later than others and you want to push in? Immortal Shadowless. Can such person go in to exchange for pills? Big brother Shadowless, you must take care of this." A few immortal kings squeezed in and some people were immediately unhappy. Many of them had lined up for a long time. Today was Shadowless' coolest moment. Now that someone called him for help, he immediately yelled, "You? Who let you push in line? Stand at the back. Otherwise don't blame Big Brother Shadowless for not giving you a chance." "Don't Shadowless Immortal, we told sect leader Yi we were coming. We came to deliver immortal spirit herb," the immortal king at the front said. "Shadowless. They're the bunch who broke our formation and then came to apologize with their sect." Tang Beiwei recognized them. It was the 4 people Li He, Tong Li Yuankue and Chan Yi. These 4 used this as an opportunity to get into Yi Mo's cultivation home early. The people on the side couldn't even refute this. Sect leader Yi told them to come, who would dare to let them line up. Although they knew that they would spend more immortal spirit herb to exchange for immortal pills, they were still very grateful that Shadowless let them in. Even Yemo didn't realize the scene would be this hot. In fact, he had enough level 9 immortal spirit herb already. He threw all the immortal spirit herb in the golden page world for small ginseng to manage. However, such opportunity was rare. The pill concoction was arduous, but he didn't want OT give up now. As immortal pills were traded, the line not only didn't grow short but instead grew longer. Chan Yi and them got the pills they wanted and came out very thankful. If it wasn't that Yemo was too busy now, those immortal emperors even wanted to visit them. However, Shadowless stopped them so they could only send their sect members to line up. Later on, Yemo's place wasn't an immortal spirit herb exchange place anymore. It was a place of wonders. If you lined up and it was your turn, your wonderful fortune came. Some people even paid high prices for a front spot. Shadowless listened to the rules Tang Beiwei set. That was, positions could be traded but people couldn't rob and push in line. People could trade positions but Shadowless would take 10% fees. Shadowless got more and more benefits and couldn't help praising Tang Beiwei. No wonder she was boss's sister. If only he could come up with such ideas. "Chen Bei, I have 3 level 9 immortal spirit herbs here, 1 jade flow void wood and 7 level 8 immortal spirit herbs. I want to trade for 1 monarch will pill." A square-faced immortal king took out his immortal spirit herbs and put them on the table respectfully. According to Yemo's rules, these immortal spirit herbs were enough for a monarchal pill, but this time Yemo didn't take the immortal spirit herb and instead asked with interest, "What's your name?" The square-faced immortal king dazed. Before he came in he asked many people and got the same answer that Yemo didn't ask name nor origin. How come when it was his turn, Yemo asked his name? Wanbei Yu Duanyu. I'm in solo cultivator, but I came to Jia Kuei's secret realm to find immortal spirit herbs. I was lucky and found a few level 9 immortal spirit herbs. The square-faced immortal king said more respectfully. He wore a gray robe and was immortal king tertiary stage peak. A solo cultivator. Yemo repeated before studying this Yu Duanyu again. You stayed for 10,000 years in the Jia Kuei's secret realm? You must have gotten some nice things there? Yemo's words struck him. He looked dazedly at Yemo and was even about to release his magic artifact, but he soon realized that if he did, it was asking for death. If Yemo wanted to kill him, he would have done so already. He had studied about Yemo before and knew that Yemo didn't even fear Wei Feng Grand Emperor. A mere immortal king looking for trouble with Yemo was seeking death. Qianbei. Wanbei don't understand Qianbei's meaning. Yu Duanyu dazed for less than half a second and woke up. As though fearing Yemo, he added, Wanbei left a few more level 9 immortal spirit herbs indeed. If Qianbei needs, I can take it out. Yemo waved his hand. No need. Although I need immortal spirit herb desperately, I'm not someone to rob. If there's something I want, I will take out something of equivalent value to trade with you. You sealed that secret realm, meaning your formation skills are quite good or you have some great fortune inside the realm. But I broke your formation, meaning my formation skills are a bit higher than yours. Yu Duanyu wanted to explain, but Yemo raised his hand and said, Do you know why I gave everyone who went in a jade card? Wanbei don't know. Yu Duanyu answered. Did you get my jade card? Yemo suddenly didn't keep explaining and asked. Sweat appeared on Yu Duanyu's head. Wanbei got a jade card. Yu Duanyu knew that the jade card would crack inside the secret realm. You're lying. Yemo's tone was getting annoyed. Do you think if I can break your formation I would need to make jade cards to go in? Yemo asked again. Yu Duanyu was about to lose it and said shakily, Qianbei, that formation isn't set up by Wanbei. Wanbei don't know what Qianbei means. Yemo sneered. All those who used my jade card can be sensed by me within 3 months, but you never used my jade card. I was planning to stand at the entrance and check one by one, but I finished solitary cultivation too late. Some people had left already, so I couldn't be bothered checking. Why else do you think I made all those jade cards? Do I like making trouble for myself? I was thinking if that some person would come up. For this, I put the opportunity of exchanging for higher level pills inside the cultivation home, and I actually did meet you. It seems we're fated to meet. Yemo stared at Yu Duanyu and said calmly. Yu Duanyu's face went pale and knew there was no point in arguing, so he said, Qianbei, I did stay in there for 10,000 years. As for method, I can only say I'm lucky. I have a space formation disk that can be used to stay there. If Qianbei needs, Wanbei will show you immediately. Yemo nodded. Show it to me. Yemo knew that even ordinary truth spirit worlds couldn't stay inside, but a formation disk could stay inside. Yu Duanyu didn't hesitate this time and took out a formation disk. Qianbei. It's this. All the things I have are inside. Yemo's spirit sense easily broke the spirit sense restriction and scanned in. Soon, Yemo realized what was going on. He was a top immortal formation master, but even he couldn't see the structure of this formation. The space law inside were countless times stronger than the space magic artifacts he made. He even felt some familiarity in this space law. It was exactly as he felt in that palace. Not only so, this space formation disk had the same chi as his time formation disk. This meant that the space formation disk had similar value as his time formation disk. They probably came from the same place. Yemo didn't know what the space formation disk was for, but his spirit sense saw large patches of high-level immortal spirit herbs. He even saw 2 blue plums. It was a chaos spirit item just below the 10 great spirit items. It was very delicious and could cleanse soul and immortal essence. You indeed have some good things. Emo looked at Yu Duanyu and said. Yu Duanyu was sweating cold and he bowed again. Qianbei, if you like it, please take it all away. He regretted coming here and running into the net. Emo threw the space formation disc back. You indeed have a lot of things I want there, but if I wanted to rob it I would have done so already. Would I need to wait till now? I don't even need to do anything here. I just need to leave a mark and you would never be able to get away. You have a lot of good things, but so do I. If you don't believe me, ask Wei Feng, that old man, if he's interested in my things. Wan Bei, don't dare. Yu Duanyu quickly said. Emo got up. I'm not showing off. I'm saying I have enough things to trade with you. As for your space formation disc, it's good, but I don't want it. I just want one of the blue plum. Level 9 Immortal Spirit Herb. I need Emperor Carrot, Dark Frost Root, Blue Flame Fruit, Sea Heaven Poppy. After saying more than 30 level 9 Immortal Spirit Herbs, Emo took out a bunch of things and threw it in front of Yu Duanyu. You can choose yourself and we can start dealing. Half-God Artifact. Yu Duanyu looked at the things Emo took out in shock. The pills were just as Emo said. Monarch will pill were special grade. When he saw the Twisted God flag, he couldn't resist calling out in shock. Emo immediately said, That's right. This Twisted God flag is a half-God artifact. A very powerful one. An immortal Emperor Tertiary stage used this, even I almost fell for it. Do you want to trade for it? It was already a bit ruined when Emo fought against it. Emo used a few days to simply repair it so it could be exchanged. Yu Duanyu said dazedly, Qianbei, of course Wan Bei is willing. I'm very willing, but I can rob you, so why exchange with you, right? Emo could tell what Yu Duanyu meant. He knew that Yu Duanyu didn't really believe him because this was too absurd. With his current power, even if he killed Yu Duanyu secretly, no one would know. Yu Duanyu's things were indeed enough for people to greed over it. But to Emo it was just so-so. Emo was interested in the 2 blue plums and he wanted both, but he knew these things were too precious. He would be willing to trade everything for it. But the Monarch will pill was also extremely important to Yu Duanyu, and he was willing to trade it for the blue plum. As for robbing, Emo really never thought about it. There was no conflict between the two. He didn't like robbing an innocent person's belongings. Another reason was that cultivating 3 birth chant required him to keep his thoughts straight. If he robbed Yu Duanyu for no reason, he would feel guilt and regret. That would hinder his cultivation. How could Emo destroy his future for a space formation disc? Even if a real chaos world was in front of him, he wouldn't rob it from Yu Duanyu as long as there was no enmity between them. I have no enmity with you, I'm not going to rob, you can choose what you like now. Emo pointed at the things on the ground and said, Thank you, Qianbei. Yu Duanyu could feel that Emo wasn't cheating him. He took out what Emo needed without hesitation and gave it to Emo. Then, he picked the Twisted God flag and another Monarch will pill. He really wanted the rest of the things, but he didn't take it. However, Emo left a bottle of level 8 blue essence pills and another Monarch will pill. He then gave another extreme grade flying immortal artifact to Yu Duanyu. You might be able to use this in the future. I won't rob your things, but other people might not do the same. Qianbei's honesty is unlike anyone I've seen before. Wan Bei will remember Qianbei's great help. If there's the chance, Wan Bei will head to MOU Immortal Sect to pay you back. Yu Duanyu was truly grateful to Emo this time, and he meant it. Emo nodded. With these things Yu Duanyu would have a great future. It was good to make good connections. He then gave a jade card to Yu Duanyu. Crush this. Seeing Yu Duanyu look at him in confusion, Emo explained, Other people might be able to guess why I made the jade cards. If they guessed it, then you would be over. Emo left a very faint spirit sense mark on these cards, but there were many powerful beings and Emo didn't dare to believe his spirit sense marks were undetectable. Yu Duanyu instantly realized this and quickly crushed the jade card before bowing. Wan Bei will leave now. If Emo was going to plant spirit sense mark on him, he wouldn't use this stupid way. Emo did this was certainly to try help him. Yu Duanyu made up his mind to repay sect leader Yi when his cultivation was successful. After Yu Duanyu left, Emo also rejoiced. He gave the immortal spirit herbs and blue plum to small ginseng. He had a bountiful harvest this time. He didn't want more level 9 immortal spirit herbs anymore. After exchanging a few times, Mo told Shadowless to take down the sign. Hearing there were no more pills, those who didn't get a pill regretted greatly. Just like Tang Beiwei said, there was only one opportunity. If it was some other immortal pill Grand Master, people would stop him from going, but no one dared to stop Mo from going. At most, they would ask when Mo would hold such an event again. Those people who traded immortal pills rejoiced. Yu Duanyu also left with the other immortal kings immediately. When he left the defense formation of this secret realm, he immediately felt a powerful spirit sense scan over. Yu Duanyu wasn't dumb. He immediately realized that Mo was right. Someone guessed Mo's plan. That person didn't dare to scan the entrance of the secret realm, but every immortal king leaving here would be checked. Realizing this, he was even more grateful to Mo. The other merchant associations, due to Mo's appearance, used his method too, trading immortal pills with immortal spirit herb. But their pills could only reach level 7 and there was no special grade. They didn't have King pills too. When Mo was working, they barely had any business. Now that Mo was leaving, they breathed easy and didn't hate Mo as much. "Boss, are we going now?" Shadowless saw Mo come out and jiggled his butt as he walked up. This time had been the most satisfying time he has had. Small Ginseng didn't want to call him Big Brother, but these 2 days, a few hundred people call him Big Brother. Sect Leader Yi. "May I ask if you're going directly to our ethereal immortal pond or some other place first?" Immortal Monarch asked. She was even more respectful after knowing Mo was a level 8 immortal pill grandmaster. If it wasn't that Mo was going to go, the only immortal emperor from ethereal immortal pond would be coming. Sect Leader Yi, come have a seat at my Black Lightning Emperor sect. Nong Yen Immortal Emperor was here already. Brother Yi, my Nan Luo Emperor sect isn't far from here. If Brother Yi can come, it would be our honor. Shin Kuan Immortal Emperor squeezed to the front. He felt his decision to apologize to Mo was too smart. More than half of the immortal emperors came wanting to invite Mo over. But Mo wasn't interested in this. He just saluted with his fists. "Immortal friends, I need to do some things lately, and I have no time to go elsewhere, but 20 years later, I will be holding the sect opening ceremony at MOU Immortal Sect. Today I will shamelessly invite you all. 20 years later, if you have time to come to my MOU Immortal Sect, then regardless of who you are, as long as you congratulate our sect opening, I will greet you personally." Mo's sound transmission went out and all the people at the secret realm heard this. Those sect elders, sect leaders, immortal emperors, and immortal monarchs all expressed that they would be coming. Some immortal kings who didn't get immortal pills planned to store their immortal spirit herb and visit MOU Immortal Sect 20 years later. Wei Feng Grand Emperor's face was extremely bad, and so was Wu Hui Immortal Emperor. He knew his revenge would be very hard to get. Mo could even beat away Zhizong Immortal Emperor. Even if Mo met Wuyin Immortal Emperor, the results would be unpredictable. Gonghua Heaven was far, but who didn't want to congratulate a immortal pill grandmaster like Mo? If they connected well with Mo, then they might be able to ask Mo for some pills. Immortal Monarch, I will definitely go to Ethereal Immortal Pond, but I might not be able to go with you. We can meet 3 months later at Ethereal Immortal Pond. Mo said politely to Immortal Monarch. Mo just left Jia Kuei Immortal City. His spirit sense scanned Yu Duanyu. Yu Duanyu didn't go far and instead stayed at outside the city. Yu Duanyu clearly saw Mo and immediately followed over. Yu Duanyu, you still haven't left? You're waiting for me here. Mo looked at Yu Duanyu in confusion. Yu Duanyu quickly bowed. Yiqian Bei. Wan Bei was indeed checked by spirit sense after coming out of the secret realm. That immortal emperor is probably looking for Wan Bei. Wan Bei stayed here to notify Qian Bei. Mo nodded. This Yu Duanyu was quite a good thing. Yu Duanyu was afraid that he didn't know his spirit sense mark was known by someone, so he came to tell him. Thank you. I already guessed who this person is. Mo knew it was probably Lang Xian Immortal Emperor. Lang Xian Immortal Emperor was much harder to deal with than Zhizong Immortal Emperor. He was bleak and calculative. Zhizong Immortal Emperor didn't at all that Lang Xian Immortal Emperor, had killing intent towards him until he was ambushed. You're a mere immortal king. Why would immortal emperors look for you? Shadowless said. Yu Duanyu smiled awkwardly. Because Wanbei stayed in the secret realm for 10,000 years. So. Oh, I see. I was wondering why boss was so nice to make jade cards for people. So this is it. Shadowless wasn't dumb and immediately realized the use of Yi Mo's jade cards. But before he finished, he was slapped on the head. This time, it wasn't Yi Mo but Tang Beiwei. So what if my brother helps? He always helps people. Do you think he's like you? Tang Beiwei reproached. Shadowless quickly put on a smile. Beiwei, I meant to say that Yu Duanyu was too dumb. If it was me, I would definitely not leave. There are so many immortal spirit herbs inside. The immortal spirit chi there must be very dense. Of course, I would stay inside and cultivate. Tang Beiwei was immediately unhappy. Shadowless, you're saying that as soon as Yu Duanyu came out, he was caught by my brother, so he's stupid, right? Seeing Shadowless have nothing to say, Yi Mo smiled and said, Yu Duanyu actually didn't want to come out, so he set up a counter-locking formation so people couldn't go in. However, he didn't expect me to break that formation. Qian Bei, Yu Duanyu quickly called. Seeing Yi Mo look at him, Yu Duanyu said quietly, Qian Bei. Wanbei really didn't set up that formation. Wanbei don't know who set up that formation. Wanbei did want to keep staying in there, but after knowing someone set up counter-locking formation, I quickly left with everyone. Yi Mo was shocked. He always had thought that Yu Duanyu set up this formation, so he didn't ask. Now that Yu Duanyu did set it up, it meant that other than Yu Duanyu, there was a second person in that secret realm. That person didn't want people to go in, but also didn't want Yu Duanyu to come out. As long as the secret realm wasn't open, there would be no automatic teleportation. You really didn't set up that formation? Yi Mo's tone was much more serious. No, Yu Duanyu said assertively. Then why didn't you tell me earlier? Yi Mo frowned. Wanbei told Qian Bei. The first time Qian Bei asked. Wanbei said the formation wasn't set up by Wanbei. Yu Duanyu said sourly. Yi Mo nodded. You're not to blame for this. Wait. There's something wrong. Shadowless, you control the space-time boat. I have something to talk with Yu Duanyu. Yi Mo noticed something wrong soon. The space-time boat started to fly towards the heaven domain border. Tell me how you got the space formation disk and what else you saw in the secret realm these years. Yi Mo asked. Yu Duanyu clearly remembered this event deeply and immediately said, When I went inside the secret realm, I felt a cave with extremely dense immortal spirit chi. My spirit sense scanned there and I saw an immortal marrow well, one of the top ones. I didn't think much and went inside the cave wanting to take the well away as I didn't have time to cultivate in there. Since you can see the cave, it means it's not very hidden, right? Yi Mo asked. Yu Duanyu nodded. Yes. It wasn't very hidden, that's why I desperately wanted to take it away. But when I moved that immortal marrow well, I found the space formation disk. Before I spirit controlled the space formation disk, it had a very ancient chi. I immediately started spirit controlling that space formation disk. Yi Mo sensed the eeriness of this event. Since Yu Duanyu said that place wasn't very hidden, the immortal well should have long been taken. When I started to spirit control that space formation disk, I noticed something wrong. I started to feel a sliver of space law secrets from spirit controlling it. I was overjoyed and knew I found a top-level treasure. I started to refine it like crazy. When I have spirit-controlled part of it, I went inside immediately. Yu Duanyu still seemed to be excited. Tell me in a bit. I'll check if you have any restrictions or something on you. Yi Mo stopped him from talking. Yu Duanyu stopped talking. Yi Mo's questions made him feel something wrong. His luck was too good. That counter-locking formation was too eerie. Yu Duanyu gave his hand to Yi Mo without hesitation. For hours later, Yu Duanyu felt his organs being burned to dust by Yi Mo. Then, Yi Mo suddenly used a few hand signs and grabbed a black flame out. The black flame looked like fire, but it didn't have any heat at all. I was planted such a flame? Yu Duanyu looked at the flame in Yi Mo's hands in shock. Yi Mo didn't answer and took out a box made with endless flame river gold, and then set up tens of restrictions before putting the jade box into his golden page world. That's right, I found this in your body. This flame is actually a tracking soul mark called Qian Soul Abyssal Mark. With such mark planted on you, the person would be able to find you even if you're dead. Rarely can anyone remove it. If I'm not wrong, there should only be 2 people in the immortal realm who can break it, and one of them is me. Emo could find this mark because of his learnings in the palace on formation and restriction. If he didn't go to that dimension, he wouldn't be able to break this mark. There was one more person Emo guessed, and it was that master who set up the formations in that palace. That person's formation skills were countless times higher than his, so that person can break it too. Qian Bei, you mean to say that everything I did in the secret realm was watched by that person? Yu Duanyu looked dazedly at Emo. He trusted that Emo didn't trick him. Shadowless, speed up and change directions. Emo yelled at Shadowless and then said to Yu Duanyu, if I'm not wrong, that person left the space formation disk to you, so you can stay in the secret realm. No wonder when I left the space formation disk. The secret realm had closed already. Yu Duanyu murmured and then seemed to have thought of something and quickly asked, Qian Bei, you meant to say that the person left the space formation disk to me, just so I can collect immortal spirit herbs for him? It's probably so. I don't know if I guessed right or not. Emo sighed and then added, if I'm not wrong, the Een Blue Plum was already in the space formation disk. Yu Duanyu's face was pale. It really is so. I used all the immortal marrow well I got to water the Een Blue Plum. Yi Qian Bei, what should I do now? Emo thought for a long while. Since this person left you with the space formation disk, it means he knows how to find you with it. If I'm not wrong, he's either already out or delayed by something else, so he doesn't have the time to come after you. Yu Duanyu immediately took the space formation disk out to Emo. Sect leader Yi, I don't have the power to keep this. You can have it. Emo took it and said, I won't take your space formation disk. I'll help you check if there's restriction or marks left. Otherwise, even I wouldn't have the power to keep it. Emo never planned to take the teleportation formation to Changrong Heaven. Now, he planned to go from the void to Changrong Heaven. The space-time boat traveled in the void for 10 days before Emo came out from the Golden Page world. At the same time, he gave the space formation disk to Yu Duanyu. I-Spirit controlled the entire space formation disk. There were indeed a few subtle marks you didn't remove, but now it's fine. Qian Bei, you can keep this space formation disk. Yu Duanyu quickly said. Emo still gave the space formation disk to Yu Duanyu. Although I helped you, I'm actually very grateful to you. In this space formation disk, I perfected my space law. This space formation disk will benefit your cultivation greatly. This is your fortune. Everyone has their own fortune, but I like you, so I don't want to rob your fortune. Emo knew the space formation disk would have as much use as the time formation disk. Cultivating inside might one day allow him to move star domains. Although he really want this space formation disk, he didn't want to rob Yu Duanyu's fortune. Having this formation disk or not meant if Yu Duanyu would reach higher or get stuck at Immortal Monarch. Thank you, Qian Bei. Yu Duanyu clearly understands this, and seeing that Emo wasn't being fake polite with him, he just gave some high-level immortal spirit herbs in the formation disk to Emo. He wasn't an immortal pill master, so keeping the tens of thousands of high-level immortal spirit herbs wasn't very useful. Then thank you. Emo didn't reject this time. He was Immortal Pill Grand Master, and these things were very beneficial to him. After putting these immortal spirit herbs down, Emo took out a face mask and gave to Yu Duanyu. This is the highest level mask I have. I don't need this anymore, so you can have it. When you reach Immortal Monarch middle stage, you can come to MOU Immortal Sect and get Taiwei Emperor Pill from me. This mask was given to him by Hongling, but now he didn't need it anymore, so he gave it to Yu Duanyu. Yu Duanyu put away the face mask, and Emo continued asking, are you going with us to Changrong Heaven or somewhere else? Yu Duanyu released the extreme grade flying immortal artifact and bowed to Emo. Wan Bei will leave alone. Once my cultivation is fruitful, I will definitely come to MOU Immortal Sect to thank Qian Bei. Emo nodded. He felt Yu Duanyu's choice was right too. As soon as he left the secret realm, he stayed with him. If people saw this, they would get suspicious. Yu Duanyu flew off from the space-time boat and disappeared from Yemo's spirit sense. This guy is really stupid. If it wasn't boss, he would be dead for sure. Shadowless smirked. He thought that boss should keep the space formation disk. If boss didn't want it, he could play with it. He got his hands on quite some good things lately. Shadowless, you and Small Ginseng control the space-time boat to Changrong Heaven. Beiwei and I are going into solitary cultivation. Yemo called out Small Ginseng and said, to Yemo he lacked power the most now. Mo you immortal sect would only be safe if he was strong. There were quite a lot of people gazing at Mo you immortal sect, but as long as he was there, Mo you immortal sect would be very safe. After going in the Hulk, Yemo went into the Golden Page world for solitary cultivation. Tang Beiwei stayed inside the ship to keep converting cultivation essence to immortal essence. Small Ginseng was the most helpless. He had to control the space-time boat while listening to Shadowless bluffing. Yemo didn't cultivate this time. He started concocting all sorts of pills in the Golden Page world. After the time formation disk ran for a month, he could concoct level 9 immortal pills. After the space-time ran for another half a month, he had concocted special grade Tai-Wei Emperor pill. This signified that Yemo had become one of the best immortal pill grandmasters in the immortal realm. At the same time, he heard news from Shadowless that the space-time boat was in Changrong Heaven. Yemo left the Golden Page world and Tang Beiwei stopped cultivation. Tang Beiwei's talent was shocking. She only used a few months' time to completely convert cultivation essence to immortal essence and became a hollow immortal. Although her cultivation resources were countless times better than what Yemo had, this cultivation speed was enough to look down on the immortal realm. Boss, Small Ginseng wants to go outside too. Seeing Yemo come over, Shadowless quickly said. How did Small Ginseng suck up to him? He was speaking for Small Ginseng. Yemo looked at Small Ginseng and Small Ginseng looked hopefully at Yemo. Yemo thought for a moment. We're gonna face Ya Immortal City. I'm good friends with the young city lord. I'm going to see him. Small Ginseng's stealthing chi cultivation method isn't complete. You can't come out yet. Even Shadowless needs to stay in the Golden Page world. When Small Ginseng can completely hide his immortal spirit chi, then you can come out. At that time, I would have reached Immortal Emperor. I don't think there would be any problem then. Hearing that he would have to go into the Golden Page world, Shadowless put on a crying face but didn't dare to disobey his boss and could only go into the Golden Page world with Small Ginseng. At the entrance to the city, Yemo and Tang Beiwei went in together. Tang Beiwei was hollow immortal power and didn't have a strong chi, but Yemo's chi was obviously extremely powerful. The walking past immortals subconsciously moved over. Faceya Immortal City wasn't a big immortal city in the Grand Heaven domain, and even the city Lord Winter's arrival just an immortal king, so Immortal King was the highest level being in here. Brother, when you came here alone, would you worry? Tang Beiwei looked at those powerful immortals and asked worriedly. I did worry, but I met a good friend. He's called Jishu. The first time I came to the Grand Heaven domain, he brought me here and helped me make many friends. Other than one, the rest of them were very nice. Yemo thought of Jishu, Qi Baitsong, Jiruyan, Inhui, and Likuan and them. Other than that Sii Shiyu, who was too annoying, he got along with the rest of them very well. Likuan became his big sister too. See, that is Faceya Immortal Tower. I met them here. Even now, I still remember the flavor of drunk jade well. It's not some high-quality immortal spirit chi wine, but I like that flavor. Yemo pointed at the tower and exclaimed, What are you thinking about? Seeing Tang Beiwei's eyes drift off, Yemo patted her and asked, Brother, remember the first time we met? It was also in that hotel? Tang Beiwei looked at this luxury immortal tower. Yemo thought of Wuliang Mountain when he almost threw Tang Beiwei, who only wore inner clothes, down from 6th floor and said guiltily, Beiwei, it was my bad before. No, Tang Beiwei suddenly forgot she was an immortal and even forgot this was an immortal realm big city. She grabbed Yemo's arm. Brother, if it wasn't you, I wouldn't even be alive. I'm most grateful that the heavens gave me a brother like you. Actually, I've always had something I wanted to ask, but I didn't ask. Yemo smiled and said, Ask me. Never mind. I suddenly don't want to ask. Brother, I want to drink some drunk jade well. Tang Beiwei smiled. Then let's go up and drink. I'll take you to City Lord Estate later to see if Jishu is there. Emo walked in with Tang Beiwei. Ever since flying to the Immortal realm, he had never been so happy. Before Emo and Tang Beiwei went in, a dashing light went inside. Emo protected Tang Beiwei by his side and said with confusion, "It was an immortal emperor who just went in. Looking at how angry he is, someone probably offended him." Rumble. A tattered figure broke the building and fell on the streets. A pale-faced man held a broken arm in his hand and instantly attached it. His eyes were very cold and didn't have any fear at all. This man was just Immortal King primary stage, but his killing intent was stronger than some immortal monarchs. "No wonder you can hurt my disciple. You have some power. You only lost an arm to a casual attack of mine." As the voice sounded, a middle-aged man flew out of the Immortal Tower. The man ate a few pills and said coldly, "Xianxia, Immortal Emperor. You're a heaven domain lord and yet you attack an immortal king. Even if I choose you die here today, I still look down you." Emo was surprised he saw an immortal emperor bullying an immortal king. This happened to him a few times, but when he heard Chujuyu he was shocked. Chujuyu, wasn't he the most famous cultivator in Luoyu Continent South P State? Emo immediately wanted to ask to see if this Chujuyu was the one he guessed, and he heard Tang Beiwei whisper to him, "Brother, he's called Chujuyu." Clearly, Chujuyu was so famous in South P State that even Tang Beiwei heard of him. Tang Beiwei's words were clearly heard by Chujuyu and that immortal emperor. That immortal emperor's eyes immediately scanned over, thinking Emo and Tang Beiwei knew Chujuyu. The moment this immortal emperor just dazed for a moment. A dashing light appeared at where Chujuyu stood. "Friend, no matter what Xianxia Immortal Emperor does to you, Chujuyu will get revenge for you in the future," Chujuyu said, but his figure was gone. He activated a transmission rune while the Immortal Emperor was distracted. "You want to escape from the Emperor with just a mere light transmission rune. Keep dreaming." Xianxia Immortal Emperor sneered and signaled to the Immortal Monarch behind him while he chased out with his transmission rune. His hand sign was clearly for his men to take Emo and Tang Beiwei away. But as soon as he used his mobility technique, he felt this powerful binding. Then, a few invisible spirit sense blades hacked over. The next moment, he found Emo standing in front of him. "Who are you?" Xianxia Immortal Emperor wasn't dumb. Emo's powerful domain made him realize that Emo would only be stronger than him. He had never seen such a powerful person before and someone who dared to stop them directly. When he saw Emo's power was only Immortal King middle stage, he immediately realized, "It's you, you're Yi." "You're right. The king is Emo. Were you going to get someone to capture me and my little sister?" Emo sneered at Xianxia Immortal Emperor. Xianxia Immortal Emperor was at a loss for words. Even an idiot could see his hand sign just then. He was going to take Emo and Tang Beiwei away. How could he know he was capturing the famous sect leader Yi? If he knew, he would definitely not do something this brain dead. "So it's sect leader Yi coming here? Xianxia, don't dare to be rude to sect leader Yi. Please forgive me." Xianxia Immortal Emperor soon realized his situation. Although he was Chongrong Heaven Lord, his power was much weaker than the Merchant Association Emo annihilated. How could he go against Emo? "Take me to see Xianxia Immortal City Lord. I'm very busy. Don't waste my time." Emo scanned Xianxia Immortal Emperor and said. Taking Xianxia Immortal Emperor away was helping Chujuyu. As for whether Chujuyu could escape, it wasn't something he cared. Chujuyu used Tang Beiwei's words to get away. Although Emo wouldn't get angry at him, Emo looked down on such acts. Emo helped Chujuyu only because he once benefited from Chujuyu. "Sect leader Yi. I'm Xianxia Immortal City Lord Ji Mufei. I'm here." A middle-aged immortal king's voice sounded. He was just a small immortal king. The Chongrong Heaven Lord Xianxia Immortal Emperor was here at the city. How could he dare to stay at the City Lord Estate? Plus, the MOU Immortal Sect leader Yi, who was famous in the entire Grand Heaven domain, was here too. "Your Yong Immortal King?" Emo found this immortal king was indeed similar to Jishu. "Yes, sect leader Yi." The immortal king quickly replied. "Jishu isn't in the city?" Emo asked. Young Immortal King never controlled his son too much and didn't know Yemo was his son's friend. Now that Yemo asked about Jishu, he said in horror, "Wanbei, never mind my son's business. If Jishu offended Qianbei please." Yemo nodded. "I'm friends with Jishu. I am passing by Xianxia Immortal City, so I came to visit him. Since he's not here, then never mind." Why Young Immortal King was dazed by Yemo's words. After a while, he suddenly realized that Jishu got a pill from his friend and reached Immortal King. Then he went out to travel. Which friend had this generosity to give King pill? Who else other than this sect leader Yi? Since Jishu isn't here, I'm going. Xianxia Tower was broken, so Yemo didn't want to go in and drink anymore. Jishu should be out traveling with Qi Baitsong and Jiuruyan. I don't know where they went. Young Immortal King suppressed the surprise and joy in his heart and replied. With Yemo's backup, even Qianzhe Immortal Emperor wouldn't dare to do anything to him. Thank you. Yemo then looked at Qianzhe Immortal Emperor, who had an extremely bad face. You said your disciple was bullied by Chu Juyu. It's probably that little Immortal King Lu Mang, right? I think he doesn't need to use a fake Immortal King title anymore. By the way, I've seen someone called Yan Juqian bully that Lu Mang. Don't forget it. I'm going now. Don't let your little Immortal King get in my hands. Seeing Yemo and Tang Beiwei slowly walk out of Xianxia Immortal City, Qianzhe Immortal Emperor's face was green, but he didn't dare to say a word. Of course he knows that Yan Juqian almost killed Lu Mang, but he couldn't find Yan Juqian at all. As for Yemo's words, he had to shut up and listen even though he was Heaven Lord. Who doesn't know what Yemo did at Jiakue Immortal City? Even though Qianzhe Immortal Emperor was an Immortal Emperor middle stage, he was nothing to Yemo. Everyone knew Yemo was a fake Immortal King. No one really knows this sect leader Ye's real power. People can only guess that he's at least Immortal Emperor tertiary stage. So pretty. Tang Beiwei stood outside Ethereal Immortal Pond and said, "She thousand a 3 kilometers long waterfall from the sky. Immortal spirit chi circulated everywhere and immortal birds were dancing everywhere." In her heart, Mou City was already pretty enough, but Ethereal Immortal Pond's beauty was far beyond Luo Yu Continent's Mou City. Only such place could be called an immortal ground. It's only so. Our Mou Immortal sect is no lesser than this. Shadowless came out and said, "Really?" Tang Beiwei had always heard Shadowless say that Mou Immortal sect is very pretty, but had never been able to see it. "Brother, when are we going back? I want to have a home to stay." Tang Beiwei asked Yemo. Tang Beiwei came from Earth, and the notion of home was very important to her. Her brother was strong but didn't have a set home, and this made her feel unsafe. Yemo sighed and patted Tang Beiwei's hair. "We'll be going back soon. No matter how long he cultivates." Tang Beiwei and Yi Ling were his little sisters. He didn't let Tang Beiwei check her DNA because regardless of the results, they were his sisters to him. As Yemo and Tang Beiwei were talking, the Ethereal Immortal Pond's formation was open. 12 extremely beautiful immortals stood in the clouds dancing as they greeted Yemo. A white-haired woman already greeted. She had 2 female immortals next to her. One was a young immortal monarch who didn't look any older than Tang Beiwei. The white-haired woman was an Immortal Emperor tertiary stage and looked middle-aged, but Yemo felt an ancient qi from her. Ethereal Immortal Pond Qi Muley greet Sect Leader Yi. "Welcome Sect Leader Yi." The white-haired woman bowed. Yemo guessed this woman was the only Immortal Emperor of Ethereal Immortal Pond. He quickly returned the bow. "I came early to disturb." Mu Li Immortal Emperor replied with some polite words. The 2 immortal monarchs next to Mu Li Immortal Emperor went up and bowed. The older one was the sect leader of Ethereal Immortal Pond Chan Shuang Immortal Monarch. The extremely young-looking one was Yin Yang Immortal Monarch. Yemo didn't see why he Immortal Monarch. The greeting ceremony for Yemo and Tang Beiwei was very grand. Red rainbow carpets and extremely beautiful female immortals. Tang Beiwei looked at this and said unhappily, "I heard in South Peace State that Ethereal Immortal Pond was a very righteous sect. They don't seem to be as righteous as imagined." Shadowless said, "I feel this is very good, very pretty, and we're taken seriously." "You idiot. If anyone shows you any smile, you forget your own name. Tang Beiwei looked at Shadowless in contempt. Ethereal Immortal Pond was extremely hospitable to Yemo Mu. Li Immortal Emperor came to greet. Mi Yun Saint chatted with Tang Beiwei. As for the immortal fruits and wine, it was the best quality. Although Yemo had a lot of good things, he wasn't good at making food. Ethereal Immortal Pond's top desserts, immortal fruits and wine, made Tang Beiwei and Shadowless crack up while eating. Seeing Shadowless and Tang Beiwei so happy, Yemo was thinking about how to go look at Ethereal Immortal Well while not being seen by other Ethereal Immortal Pond people. However, he heard Li Mu Immortal Emperor say, "Sect Leader Yi, I have someone in my sect who knows you and wants to talk to you alone. Would you have the time?" Sect Leader Yi? Someone he knew? Who would that be? He only knew this Mi Yun Saint a little. "Of course I do," Yemo said, speechless. Wasn't this clear? He was eating the best immortal fruit and wine. How was he not free? What business could it be? At most it was a few cauldrons of pills. Ji Yun, take Sect Leader Yi over. Mi Yun and I will stay with Beiwei here. What could Yemo say when an immortal emperor was going to stay with Beiwei? He could only follow Ji Yun and leave. Yemo and Ji Yun went through a few corridors before coming to a lake. There were water lilies blossoming all over. The faint immortal spirit chi mist gave people a refreshing yet ethereal feel. Ji Yun immediately turned to leave after bringing Yemo here. In a small pavilion, a white-robed woman had her back facing Yemo. She held a blue fruit in her hands. Yemo really knew this woman. She was Saint Ning Yu. But now she was no longer saint. Yemo saw this blue fruit and thought of Jing Ingli in the Truthfall Palace. When he first saw her, she used a jade flute too, but it was white. Yemo didn't know how Jing Ingli's music skills were, but he knew Jing Ingli used the flute to attack. He was certain Ning Yu's flute was just a music instrument. Ning Yu felt Yemo come over and suddenly put the flute on her mouth and started blowing. A miraculous music came out. The surrounding was soon immersed this lightly sad music. Even Yemo felt some sadness. After the piece finished, Yemo missed Luo Ying and them extremely. After a while, he sighed and walked towards Ning Yu. He didn't know why Ning Yu called him here. He didn't even know her as well as Mi Yun. "Sect Leader Yi, please sit." Ning Yu bowed and said softly. Yemo went over and sat down. "Sect Leader Yi, the world is really hard to predict. When you and Sister Li Kuan came to Ethereal Immortal Pond, you just wanted to cultivate at the Ethereal Immortal Well. But now, you're a sect leader that our Ethereal Immortal Pond martial ancestor needs to greet personally, while I'm still the same." There was some faint disappointment in her tone. Yemo didn't answer. He could feel her sadness. In terms of talent, she was second to none. As for status, she just came down from saint. Even though she made a few mistakes, she wasn't punished. Clearly, she has support in the sect. But Mi Yun was immortal king while she was still great eternity immortal. That's why she was sad. "Yemo, what do you think of Feng Chun as a person?" Ning Yu suddenly called Yemo's name. Yemo didn't care. "I don't know him well, but I don't really approve of him. I feel even Xiang Changyong's much better than him," Yemo said. Ning Yu nodded. "It's normal that you don't like him." She knew Yemo didn't like Feng Chang. Yemo compared Xiang Changyong to Feng Chang because in Yemo's eyes, even an enemy was better than Feng Chang. Then, she fell silent again, but Yemo was getting impatient. He wasn't here to talk about these boring things with her. Just when he was about to get up and go, Ning Yu suddenly said, "Yemo, do you have someone you like? Someone I like?" Luoying, Qingshu, Jin Gwen and them flashed before his eyes and he nodded. "Yes, I do. I do too." Ning Yu suddenly showed some joy on her face. "He's Feng Chun. He's not very magnanimous, but I like him." Yemo frowned. He knew she liked Feng Chun, but why was she telling him this? He wasn't friends with her. "Actually, I'm willing to be your Dao partner, but I don't want to lie to you. I will always be thinking about him in my heart. If you don't mind me thinking of him, I'm willing to be your—" Yemo interrupted. "Wait, Goddess Ning Yu? What do you mean? When did I say I would be Dao partners with you? Where did you hear this?" She liked Feng Chang, and even if she didn't, Yemo didn't want to be Dao partners with her. Ning Yu got up and said with a pale face, Didn't you come to ethereal immortal pond to propose to me? Emo rubbed his head speechlessly. Do you think I'm someone who has the time to do that? Plus, I've never thought of finding a Dao partner. Even if I am. Emo didn't say the rest, but he meant that even if he was, he wouldn't be asking Ning Yu. Ning Yu looked dazedly at Emo and her face went more pale. The words of sect leader Chan still sounded by her ear. Sect leader Yi is extremely talented. He's not only an immortal formation Grand Master but also an immortal pill Grand Master. He rejected all the invitations of the Big Emperor sects but agreed to our ethereal immortal pawn's invitation. I've thought about it, other than you, there would be no other reason. Miyun said that you brought him over. There might be some misunderstanding between you guys later on, but I believe you should explain that now. Sect leader, you knows I have someone I like. Sigh. That sect leader Yi is a prideful person. He might have some misunderstandings due to this. No matter what he thinks, as long as you try, I will give you a E-King pill. Actually, in the small heaven domain, you gave the Peng Yu immortal fruit you got to Feng Cheng. Don't think no one knows about it. That's why the sect didn't give you E-King pill. Don't compare with Miyun. Miyun made a deal with Emo and she got more than one Peng Yu immortal fruit. I'll put my words here today. If Feng Cheng can give you a E-King pill, then I'm wrong. Otherwise, this would be the only chance you can get a E-King pill. If you're still going to give up on that, then you can blame no one but yourself. Yes, sect leader. Ning Yu understands? Seeing Ning Yu's gradually more pale face, Emo frowned. Goddess Ning Yu, are you okay? I'm fine, sorry, sect leader Yi, I thought wrong. I'm going, do as you wish. Ning Yu got up and bowed. Wait! Emo stopped her. Thank you, you brought me to ethereal immortal well last time. Emo thanked her first. Seeing Ning Yu didn't answer, he could only say, Goddess Ning Yu, I want to ask you something. Did you give the jade card you used to take me into the ethereal immortal well to Miyun? Ning Yu shook her head. Martial sister Miyun didn't take it from me, and said she would leave it with me for now. Emo rejoiced and saluted with his fists. Goddess Ning Yu, I want you to help me with something. Ning Yu looked at Emo and laughed in self-mockery. You can use it and give it back to me. I've already broke the rules once. I don't mind breaking it a second time. Emo took the jade card awkwardly. I have a more over-the-line request. I want to go into the ethereal immortal pond for cultivation, but I don't really want your martial ancestor and others to know. Ning Yu shook her head. From here to ethereal immortal well, everyone can see you. It's impossible to be not seen. Emo quickly said, I have a way for no one to see, but I'm afraid that when people look for me, they don't know where I went. Ning Yu thought for a moment and said, Sect leader Yi, come with me. This was the first time Emo came to Ning Yu's room. The layout made the room seem lightly distressed. You can stay in my room. As long as I don't go out, the sect leader would definitely not come find you. Ning Yu said. Emo looked at her and he thought she was going to make a request for helping him. Seeing her say nothing, Emo immediately realized what was going on and said, You're going to leave ethereal immortal pond? Ning Yu smiled faintly. Yes, I'm going to leave here. I made too many mistakes in the sect. Not being punished is the most that Qianbei can help me to do. If I stay in the sect, I will never be able to reach Immortal King, so there's no need to stay here. Although I like Feng Cheng, if you're going to take me away, I will go with you. It seems both the sect leader and I are mistaken. This is the last thing I can help you with. Other than on Sister Li Kuan's account, it's also my approval of you, but this would soon be found out and I will be punished more, so I can't stay here. Emo understood her predicament and nodded. Then I'm going. If you need a sect in the future to stay, MOU Immortal Sect welcomes you at any time. Ning Yu smiled sweetly and her mood actually felt better. Emo had been to the ethereal immortal well once, and in a short time, he went stealthed from Ning Yu's room to that peak. Emo patted the jade card in the air and a ripple formed as a void door appeared before him. He quickly grabbed the card and went in. Seeing the Xiangpeng wooden house, Emo suddenly felt his attitude last time was funny. When he saw this house, he just wanted to take it, but now he felt nothing at all. Emo took off his clothes without hesitation and went into this well. When he went in last time, he felt like he was stabbed by needles, but now, it was just like ordinary boiled water. He knew that with his immortal god body refinement his body wouldn't be torn even if he wore clothes, but he wanted to test if this well would be beneficial to immortal god body at the back, so he took off his clothes. Emo knew that the tearing was stronger as he went further in. Last time, he was able to get to that platform due to that middle-aged scholar helping him. This time, he scanned his spirit sense over but didn't see a spirit sense scanning back. Theoretically, that land was the middle-aged scholars. Even with spirit sense limitation, that man should be able to scan further than him after staying here all these years. That man should have definitely noticed him. On top of that, Emo felt that even as immortal god body middle stage, the well had some help for body refinement at the back. But Emo could tell it wasn't much help to him. Emo sped up and his spirit sense completely scanned out. His spirit sense was thousands of times stronger than before. Even though spirit sense restriction was too powerful here, he could still scan much further than before. At the same time, Emo scanned another naked person in the well and he completely dazed. He didn't expect there was another woman, another completely naked woman. At this moment, this woman stared at him in horror. Her eyes were full of disbelief and fury. Emo immediately realized that this woman was from Ethereal Immortal Pond. Perhaps she was doing body refinement. Without hesitation, Emo was about to take out a set of clothes. Just when he grabbed the clothes, that woman yelled in horror, "Don't put clothes on." "Why?" Emo asked in confusion. He didn't feel awkward even if he was naked to a woman after all these years of cultivation, but he should put on his clothes quickly. "This is Ethereal Immortal Well. If you dare to put clothes on, you will soon be torn to pieces," this woman said as she sped towards the platform Emo went on before. Emo looked at that woman as she quickly took out a set of clothes to put on. He praised her body in his heart. This body was on par with Jin Bingyu. The two red cherries topped the two sturdy white hills. Water trickled down her chest past her waist. "Don't look." This woman was clearly an immortal king, but under Yemo's gaze she couldn't even put her clothes on. Yemo woke up and quickly put his clothes on. "Ah!" The woman saw Yemo really put clothes on in the well and screamed, forgetting that her clothes wasn't put on yet. Yemo put on clothes and then landed on the platform. He stared at that woman. "Hurry up and put your clothes on. What are you screaming for?" This woman suddenly woke up and quickly put her clothes on. She was shocked that Yemo could put clothes on in the ethereal immortal well. That mean that Yemo was immortal god body. Now, Yemo's clothes had been dried by his immortal essence. How do you are to put clothes on in the ethereal immortal pond? How are you completely fine? You're only an immortal king middle stage, the female immortal said. There was no longer embarrassment and fury on her face but more shock. Seeing the woman didn't talk about the awkward scene and instead asked about him putting on clothes in the ethereal immortal pond, he looked higher of her and smiled. "Because my body refinement cultivation is higher than yours. By the way, you're a sect members of Ethereal Immortal Pond, right?" Then Yemo's spirit sense carefully scanned this huge rock. The middle-aged scholar had disappeared, and so had the stone stools and tables. Yemo still looked around carefully. That scholar was at least a half divine, he had to be careful. The woman immediately thought of what happened before and covered her embarrassment. "You're definitely not an Ethereal Immortal Pond sect members. How did you get in here?" Yemo didn't answer her and instead asked, "Did you see a middle-aged scholar here? He's sitting at that position." "No. There was no one here when I came." The female immortal shook her head while studying Yemo with confusion. Yemo's words meant that he had been here before. "How long have you been here for?" 23 years. "You're not from Ethereal Immortal Pond, right?" "How do you know?" The female immortal blurted out. Yemo guessed, but he was very certain of it. Ningyu had been in Ethereal Immortal Pond lately and didn't go out. If someone could go in the high-level cultivation area, there was no way she wouldn't know. If there was a female sect members cultivating there, she definitely wouldn't lend him the jade card. However, her subconscious words made Yemo doubt things. Someone who could cultivate to Immortal King would have some brains. This woman seemed to have blurted it out accidentally. This woman's actions and words were all very natural and didn't seem fake. He could even feel her telling him not to put on clothes in the well due to worry coming from the bottom of her heart. Emo felt her age was no older than Ning Yu and her body didn't have an ancient qi. Emo shook his head. He was suspicious of an ordinary female immortal. But how did she come in when she wasn't from ethereal immortal pond? It was hard for even him to get in the sect without being found, much less the ethereal immortal pond. As though knowing what Emo was going to ask, the female immortal said, "I'm a body refinement cultivator, and hearing there was an ethereal immortal pond here. I asked a friend from ethereal immortal pond to bring me in. I snuck into the ordinary region with her because I'm already immortal spirit body primary stage." Emo knew what she meant and asked, "You're saying ordinary region is connected to here?" "Yeah, but that entrance is very hard. I went around looking when I felt the cultivation effect at the ordinary region was average. In the end, I found here. When I came in, I was only immortal spirit body primary stage, but now I'm immortal spirit body middle stage. This is indeed a good cultivation sacred ground." The female immortal saw that Emo didn't seem to come in through appropriate means. "Luckily, I didn't go the wrong direction. Otherwise, if I went into ordinary region and saw—" Emo quickly stopped. The female immortal immediately realized what Emo meant and just said with slight awkwardness, "You wouldn't be able to find it. I don't know how I come in. I wanted to go back to the ordinary region, but I haven't been able to find the way. Otherwise, I would have been out already. Why would I wait till today? How did you come in? Can you help me get out?" "Of course I can take you out, but you need to tell me who you are. And I need to find some things here." Emo was looking for trails the middle-aged man left behind. The man was at least a half-divine. Although Emo didn't offend him, Emo used this star core flame and removed his teleportation mark, making this guy get nothing in the end. If this guy left, he would have another powerful enemy. Emo rubbed his head. He was speechless. He always offended those powerful people. But that was unavoidable. Ordinary people wouldn't have conflict of interest with him. Ever since he got the bitter bamboo and time formation disc, it meant that he would have conflicts with those standing at the pinnacle of the immortal realm. "I don't know who you are yet. Where do you come from?" The female immortal hesitated and asked carefully. "I'm Emo. I'm friends with the ethereal immortal pond saint. With her help, I snuck in." Emo knew Ning Yu was about to leave, so he didn't hide it. The female immortal breathed easy and didn't even ask more about Emo and said, "I'm called Yusu. I come from Dew Heaven Aroma Realm." Emo had never heard of this place, but he didn't care. At this moment, Emo had carefully searched the place where that middle-aged man was. There was no trails. He looked disappointedly at Yusu and asked, "Goddess Yusu, did you see anything special here or any trails?" Yusu shook her head. "No. When I came here, it was a huge flat stone platform. I cultivated in here, and when I rested, I put the immortal artifact cultivation home on this platform." Emo thought of the red card he threw out and the mark inside. He suspected that someone else crushed the card, or the middle-aged man activated the teleportation mark and someone else was teleported in and used by that middle-aged man. Perhaps the woman came here because she activated the rune. Thinking about this, Emo said, "There was originally a middle-aged man here. I came here to find him this time, but he's gone. This guy is quite strong and good at setting up stealth spirit sense marks. After he left, you're the first to come here. I want to check if he's left any marks on your body. Is that all right?" "Huh?" Yusu looked at Emo with uncertainty and said, "Martial Brother Yi, you're going to check my body?" Emo showed a little awkwardness. "If it's not convenient, then never mind. We cultivators shouldn't care too much about these things." Emo really wanted to say he had already seen her naked, so it was fine if he checked. Yusu couldn't speak. Seeing her tone and expression, Emo knew that she clearly didn't want to be checked. Emo was thinking that if she had a mark, he would force it out and put it on him. The next time, he would be able to find that middle-aged man with it. That way, even if the man was in a disguise, Emo would be able to recognize him. Just when Emo was about to give up, Yusu suddenly said, "I'm willing to let you check as long as Martial Brother Yi takes me out later." Yusu was an immortal king, but she lowered her head as she said this. Clearly, she hadn't come across this situation before. "Don't worry, I will definitely take you out," Emo said. Yusu was a bit hesitant but still gave Yemo her wrist. Yemo grabbed it, and that smooth feeling made Yemo think that Yusu's skin was perfect. Zhenbingyu's skin was like this too. It seemed that all body refinement cultivators, regardless of sex, had good skin. After Yemo just scanned half of her body with her immortal essence, he was shook. What's wrong? Yusu noticed Yemo's reaction and subconsciously looked up at him with some rudiness on her hair. Nothing. It's because I'm a bit embarrassed. Sorry, I'm already done checking. There's no spirit sense mark on you. Yemo quickly put his hand down. It's okay. I'm very nervous too. Yusu lowered her head even more and said shakily. Without needing to look, Yemo knew her red was even more vibrant. Yemo smiled awkwardly. He was extremely shocked. This woman was Immortal Emperor peak stage and even half divine. Not only that, her body refinement cultivation was not at Immortal Spirit Body middle stage but at Immortal Spirit Body peak. If he didn't have 3 birth chant and grabbed her wrist to check, he really wouldn't be able to see. This woman probably looked down on him too much and thus was willing to give her wrist for him to check. This woman didn't have any ancient chi, but she clearly didn't possess this body. Her body was definitely rebuilt by some powerful treasure. That's why it felt so natural. The scene became awkward. Yemo didn't speak and Yusu didn't neither. Yemo was concerned. He was thinking if the missing middle-aged scholar was related to this immortal emperor. Meanwhile, Yusu had this sliver of intimacy on her face. As for whether it was real or fake, both Yemo and her knew. Yemo was shocked why this woman didn't capture him straight away and instead play this game with him. My body refinement is about to be Immortal Spirit Body tertiary stage. Is your body refinement cultivation really higher than mine? Are you Immortal God Body? Yusu finally broke the tense atmosphere and asked. Yemo suddenly realized, this person hasn't attacked yet. Was it because she wanted his body refinement cultivation method? Yes. I'm Immortal God Body, that's why I'm not scared of the water here. Yemo admitted. Martial Brother Yi. I've reached Immortal Spirit Body peak, but I still haven't been able to break through. Do you have any experience? Yusu blurted out and then realized that she was too blunt. She quickly gave a jade bottle to Yemo. Martial Brother Yi, sorry. I believe that body refinement cultivation method must be amazing. I don't dare to ask for your body refinement cultivation method, but I want to ask you to teach me. You can have this Monarch will pill. Monarch will pill? Yemo repeated and studied the jade bottle in shock. Even an immortal emperor might not be able to take it out so easily. This Yusu was so generous. But to Yemo, this pill was just a candy to him. Yemo quickly said, Goddess Yusu, I'm really sorry. My body refinement cultivation method is passed down from my family. I can't give it away. Since that middle-aged man is gone, I'm going to. If you're willing, then come with me. She was an immortal emperor peak. Yemo believed she could leave at any time and didn't need his help at all. It's okay, you can take it. Seeing that Yemo could even reject Monarch will pill, there was a sliver of shock in her eyes, but she quickly stuffed the jade bottle into Yemo's hands. As soon as Yemo touched it, he felt a powerful immortal essence enter his meridians silently. Sorry. Yusu smiled shyly. This woman wasn't going to do things the hard way. Yemo was long wary of her, and even if he wasn't, there was no way she could use that way to subjugate Yemo. Just when Yemo wanted to counterattack and subjugate her, he suddenly stopped and allowed her immortal essence to control his meridians. He finally realized why he saw her naked, and she was only angry for a brief moment but didn't choose to attack. She really was only Immortal King power, barely Immortal King tertiary stage. Thinking about this, Yemo realized what was happening. Yusu used the top treasure to rebuild her body, but it had only been a short time and she hasn't recovered her power level yet. Recovering her power in the ethereal immortal pond after rebuilding her body was the best choice. However, her ambitions were great. Not only did she want to recover her power, she wanted to use the ethereal immortal pond for body refinement. This was why her cultivation recovery speed was so slow. She probably didn't expect that there was another man in here. Seeing Yemo being subjugated by her, Yusu took off a storage ring from Yemo's finger and smiled. Martial Brother Yi. Don't blame me. I think you're a good person, but I really like your body refinement cultivation method. Although Yemo knew that age was not as important as cultivation level, Yemo still felt strange. This woman just rebuilt her body was she was a countless-year-old monster. Yet she put on the little girl act. No wonder you don't want my monarch will pill, so you have an extreme-grade monarch will pill. You have this many extreme-grade immortal artifacts. You're really wealthy for a mere immortal king. Wai Yusu took out a blue-robed female immortal robe and stared at it for a long while before saying, "No wonder you weren't seduced by me. You have a woman, but I quite like someone as loyal as you." The blue robe was Zhen Bingyu's. The unused clothes he bought her were left in the storage ring. As for the monarch will pill and King pill, Yemo was planning to give it to Mi Yun and Ning Yu. Mi Yun took care of Beiwei when he and Shadowless were hunting Zhizong Immortal Emperor, and she helped him in the small heaven domain, so she deserved a monarch will pill. Ning Yu helped him into the ethereal immortal pond twice. Of course he wouldn't be stingy to her for a King pill. Yusu searched for a while. Although Yemo's storage ring was wealthier than an ordinary immortal king, it was only so-so. Throwing the storage ring aside, Yusu said calmly, "Give me your body refinement cultivation method. I'm easy to talk to compared to all those years ago." Yemo looked at Yusu and asked calmly, "You're probably not from Fendu Heaven Aroma Realm, right? You're not worried? Or scared?" Hearing Yemo's calm tone, Yusu asked in some shock, "I'm scared you would let me go? Even if I let you go, I can kill you at any time, but I don't like trouble, so I won't let you go for now. As long as you listen to me, I really wouldn't kill you. Then why would I be scared? You're right. I really like your character. Do you want to know who I am?" Yusu smiled sweetly. "If you're willing to tell me, I'm willing to listen." Yemo smiled. Yusu was a little shocked. She walked up to Yemo again and sealed 10 more meridians before shaking her head. "If I didn't subjugate you myself, I would think you're not subjugated. You need to think clear. If you don't know who I am, I really won't kill you, but if you know who I am, you won't have that chance." Yemo sneered. "Whether you will let me live or not, I really don't care. I'm scared that even if you would leave me alive, you wouldn't let me go easily." Yusu laughed. "You're really interesting, but even if I tell you, you might not know. My name is Yu Jinxiang." "Haha. Even I'm about to forget my name. Yu Jinxiang?" Yemo really had heard of this name before. "You've heard of my name?" For someone as old as her, she could easily see Yemo's expressions. Yemo didn't hide it. "I've heard of your name indeed. Not only that, someone made a deal with me. If I kill you, I would get a magic artifact and an absurd heritage." You agreed. Yu Jinxiang really asked this subconsciously, but then she realized it was pointless. "No, I was only golden immortal at the time. If I agreed to that guy, it would be suicide." "You're not dumb. Tell me, where is that guy? If you take me there, I'm willing to let you live." "Haha. Ever since I rebuilt my body, my personality got a lot better. I actually don't have the desire to kill you and instead want to let you live. This is really strange." Yu Jinxiang wasn't lying. If it was before, she wouldn't use this peaceful tone and way to deal with Yemo. Yemo smiled and said pridefully, "I don't need other people to spare my life. I control my own life. Even annihilation, divine damnation won't be able to take it away from me." Then Yemo patted the dirt from him and got up. "You weren't sealed by me?" Yu Jinxiang looked at Yemo in shock. She really didn't understand how Yemo wasn't sealed up. She clearly sealed Yemo's meridians. If she didn't approve of Yemo, she would have twisted his dantian. "After rebuilding your body, your cultivation level only recovered to a mere immortal king tertiary stage, yet you want to seal my meridian? Are you arrogant or prideful? You can only blame your news for being too outdated. If you went out for a spin, you wouldn't think so." Yemo smiled. "Just who are you?" Yu Jinxiang's face changed and a golden fan appeared in her hands. Yemo didn't wait for her to release the fan and then grabbed in midair. Yu Jinxiang immediately felt the terrifying pressure around her. It was as though she was instantly bound. The next moment, the golden fan appeared in Yemo's hands. "You're not immortal king, you're an immortal emperor?" Yu Jinxiang looked at Yemo in shock. Her face was extremely pale and her eyes were full of despair. In order to rebuild her body, she went through all sorts of hardships and had succeeded, but at the last minute, she fell in the hands of Emo. She could tell Emo hadn't cultivated for long. Reaching Immortal King middle stage was his peak. How could he be an immortal emperor? Emo smiled and didn't die. Because he wasn't, he hid his power level, making other people think he was immortal emperor. You know Xianlan Merchant Association, right? Emo had decided to scare her first. Eugene Xiang and Kai Mi were different. She possibly knew more. He needed to get more answers from her. It was annihilated by me. I killed both of the immortal emperors. Xianlan Merchant Association is now history and will never appear again. Emo said coldly. You annihilated Xianlan Merchant Association and killed 2 immortal emperors? Eugene Xiang repeated. Of course, not just that. I taught Wei Feng Grand Emperor a lesson and chased away Zhizong Immortal Emperor. However, I didn't kill him. He was killed by his martial brother Lang Xian Immortal Emperor. Emo bluffed. He clearly was at the lower hand in the battle with Wei Feng Grand Emperor, but he said he taught him a lesson. Eugene Xiang didn't see it anyways. If she was scared dumb, she would be much easier to talk to. You can still come here after annihilating the 2 immortal emperors of Xianlan Merchant Association? Eugene Xiang looked at Emo with suspicion. Why can't I come here? Emo knew Xianlan Merchant Association had a backup, but he didn't know who it was. Eugene Xiang seemed to know. Eugene Xiang said, the backup of Xianlan Merchant Association is Blood Cauldron Grand Emperor. Almost no one knows this, but I do. I'm curious why Blood Cauldron Grand Emperor didn't look for your trouble after you annihilated Xianlan Merchant Association. Blood Cauldron Grand Emperor of the 4 Grand Emperors? That's right. Although Wei Feng Grand Emperor has the title of Grand Emperor, he's nothing compared to Blood Cauldron Grand Emperor. Eugene Xiang sneered. This was Emo's first time hearing this, and he asked, ever since How Heaven Grand Emperor was killed by the others, I've never heard of Blood Cauldron Grand Emperor. Usually for big things, it's Feng Kong Grand Emperor and Dragon River Grand Emperor. Blood Cauldron probably died, right? You even know how Heaven Grand Emperor died? Eugene Xiang was more shocked. She even suspected that Emo was an old monster like her. Don't ask me how I know. Tell me what you know. Emo interrupted. Eugene Xiang really wanted to know who Emo was, but she had to listen to Emo. She could only reply, because How Heaven Grand Emperor got a dead Dao fruit. Emo didn't know what it was, but after looking at the jade slip Kai Mi gave him, he already knew that it was the number 1 immortal fruit of the immortal realm. Of course, this is just to immortal emperors and divine emperors. It was much more precious than even Chaos Blue Reed because it was a few of the rare fruits that could increase the lifespan of an immortal emperor. Emo didn't know before, but now he knew that even immortal emperors and divine emperors had lifespans. No ordinary immortal emperor or divine emperor's lifespan could break through the 10 million years barrier. But Emo now realized that this divine emperor only meant Dao molding divine emperor. There was only truth divine emperor in the entire immortal realm that could reach Dao nourishment divine emperor. As for Dao actualization divine emperor, there was none. Theoretically, anyone could vindicate Dao as long as you keep cultivating, but in reality, only a few people could do this. No matter how hard you keep cultivating, you don't have that lifespan. Possession couldn't increase lifespan. The only way to increase lifespan was relying on top immortal materials and spirit items. Death Dao fruit was the top chaos spirit fruit. It could increase 990,000 years for an immortal emperor and help immortal emperor learn Dao art and reach Dao vindication. You know of Death Dao fruit? Eugene Xiang saw Emo didn't ask a question about it despite looking confused. I'm asking you now. Emo's tone sunk. Eugene Xiang patted her head and smiled sweetly, as though not caring about her predicament. You're an immortal emperor. You probably know that even divine emperors can't reach eternal life. I've heard there are higher levels after divine emperor, but if you don't have the lifespan to venture those states, it's pointless. Eugene Xiang's words let Emo know that she didn't know about Dao molding divine emperor, Dao nourishment divine emperor and stuff. Emo didn't explain and signaled her to keep talking. How Heaven Grand Emperor probably got a Death Dao fruit, but the 3 other Grand Emperors knew about this. Of course, How Heaven Grand Emperor didn't want to share it, so he was ganged up on by those 3 Grand Emperors. Eugene Xiang shook her head. Then what about the Death Dao fruit? Emo asked. Then Fengkong Grand Emperor and Dragon River Grand Emperor ambushed Blood Cauldron Grand Emperor. No wonder there was no more news of Blood Cauldron Grand Emperor. He was ambushed by these two guys. Emo said in realization and then added, was the Death Dao fruit robbed by Blood Cauldron Grand Emperor so Fengkong and Dragon River joined up to kill Blood Cauldron Grand Emperor? Xianxia nodded. It was so indeed. But only 4 people in the world knows that Blood Cauldron Grand Emperor didn't take the Death Dao fruit and I happen to be one of them. You're saying that the Death Dao fruit is still in How Heaven Grand Emperor's hands? How do you know? Emo knew that he was tricked by How Heaven, that bastard again. Emo felt strange. He got How Heaven's belongings but didn't get some Death Dao fruit. Xianxia didn't answer Emo's words directly and instead asked, Martial Brother Yi, how do you think of my stealth cultivation method? Not bad, your cultivation level hasn't completely recovered, but you've hid your Immortal Emperor tertiary stage peak to Immortal King tertiary stage. Even I almost didn't see through it. Emo said. You actually saw through my real power level? Xianxia stared at Emo with her mouth wide open in shock. She thought Emo only just vaguely sensed her power level. Seeing Emo not talk, Xianxia immediately realized. She said in a more genuine tone, I was harmed by Yin Ping and took my broken body to a dangerous place. In that place I met my fortune. I got a Luo Xiao Wu wood. Luo Xiao Wu wood. Emo had to admire Xianxia's luck. Theoretically, that wood was on par with Death Dao fruit as it could perfectly rebuild the body and also perfect one's immortal spirit root. That's right. At the time, my body was very broken. I just needed to peacefully recover for tens of thousands of years and my cultivation level wouldn't be damaged too greatly. But of course, my cultivation level would stop progressing. But after seeing the Luo Xiao Wu would I courageously severed my broken body and used it to rebuild a new one. Xianxia said. Emo admired her decisiveness. But if he was in the same situation, he would do the same. After that, my personality changed a lot. If it was before and you saw my body, I would kill you straight away instead of talking to you for so long. Luckily, I didn't do that. Otherwise, I would be flying dust now. Xianxia laughed in self-mockery. When I was rebuilding my body, Blood Cauldron Grand Emperor came to my place. I quickly hid my chi and didn't dare to move at all. Luckily, with the help of the Luo Xiao Wu wood, I was able to fuse into one with my surrounding. Blood Cauldron Grand Emperor didn't notice anyone around here. Perhaps it was because he was heavily injured. He was injured very heavily? Emo asked. Xianxia nodded. His injuries were no lighter than mine and his essence spirit seemed to be heavily injured. Xianxia continued. He just stayed for a brief moment and sent a news. A few days later, another woman came. She was only Immortal Emperor primary stage and was very shocked when she saw Blood Cauldron Grand Emperor this heavily injured. She immediately helped Blood Cauldron Grand Emperor recover. Then, she asked why Blood Cauldron Grand Emperor was this heavily injured. He told her about the Death Dao fruit. I turned into a plant there and was thus able to hear it clearly. I heard about the Xianlan Merchant Association there. Then, according to you, Blood Cauldron Grand Emperor should be fine? Emo asked strangely. Yes, there was many years between How Heaven Grand Emperor being killed and Blood Cauldron Grand Emperor being injured. After Blood Cauldron Grand Emperor was saved by that woman, he should theoretically be fine. That's why I felt strange why he didn't look for your trouble after you annihilated his Xianlan Merchant Association. Xianxia said. Thanks for telling me this. Emo patted the fan in his hand. But how should I deal with you? Should I kill you or do something else? I'm really troubled. Xianxia smiled. Martial Brother Yi. Regardless of before body rebuilding or after body rebuilding, I'm a virgin. If you don't mind me being a bit older and are willing to let me go after doing something I'm willing to. But looking at you, you don't have that intention at all. I really want to ask you to let me go, but I can't find a reason. I can only tell you that I never thought of killing you after subjugating you regardless if you believe me or not. Emo smiled. Xianxia, I believe your words. Age is nothing to cultivators. You're right, I really don't have other intentions for you. I need to ask you one more thing. When you came, was the middle-aged scholar still here? Did you take him out? Xianxia shook her head. I really didn't lie to you. When I came, this place was empty, and because this platform here was convenient for resting, I chose my body refinement grounds here. Emo nodded. I have one more thing to ask. When I was at the low heaven domain Chaos Star realm, I saw a golden skeleton. It only had one hand remaining and the hand was clasping a staff. That guy told me to kill you. He only had a sliver of essence spirit left. Do you know that guy? It was that guy who marked Emo with spirit sense. If it wasn't Jin Bingyu, Emo really wouldn't even know. Even now, Emo kept that spirit sense mark in his golden page world. Xianxia's eyes dimmed down. After a long while, she said, I know him. If I'm not wrong, he's the #1 master of Nanming Heaven Zen Temple Gongji Tsangming. He hasn't vindicated Tao, but he's the top half divine. He's extremely powerful. I didn't expect he died at low heaven domain Chaos Star realm with only a sliver of essence spirit left. I think he's probably poisoned. His forehead bone was completely back. It's a top poison. Even his sliver of essence spirit still couldn't remove the poison up until now and had to stay underwater. In time, I'm afraid even his sliver of essence spirit would be eroded. Emo said. Poisoned? Xianxia said in surprise. There was a sliver of guilt in her eyes. Emo asked in confusion, Did you kill him? No. Xianxia shook her head. I thought you killed him. Since you didn't, why are you feeling guilty? Emo asked. Gongji Tsangming was a monk, but he was the most wanted dual cultivation partner at the time in the Immortal realm. Xianxia's tone immediately made Emo guess that she probably liked him too. Seeing Emo understand a little, Xianxia said, You wouldn't think I have a crush on him, would you? Emo didn't answer this time. He wasn't that bored. He didn't care at all if she had a crush on Gongji Tsangming. Xianxia didn't intend to let Emo answer and kept saying, I happen to be the rare few people who didn't have a crush on him. He was extremely handsome and a great character. His talent and intellect were all the best. Most importantly, his power was unrivaled amongst peers. Martial brother Yi, if I didn't see your body then just in terms of looks you're far from Gongji Tsangming. Emo didn't interrupt her. He felt she had some purpose bringing him up. I've seen him many times and wherever he went he was the focus of attention. Xianxia said with some sadness. Until that gathering in Qingwei Heaven, he saw me. I was wearing a face veil at the time, but he rudely used his spirit sense to pierce my face veil and saw my face. Ever since then, he ignored all other goddesses and focused on chasing me. Emo subconsciously looked at Xianxia. To be honest, she was pretty, but just as she said, if one didn't look at her body, she was only pretty. She was far from a level that people couldn't stop looking at her. Even compared to Ning Yu, she was a few levels lower. How could she make Gongji Tsangming fall in love with her on first sight? No matter how shameless Gongji Tsangming was, he wouldn't use his spirit sense to scan her entire body. Do you think my looks are only so-so? Xianxia saw what Emo thought from his face. Indeed, I believe Gongji Kangmine had seen too much extremely beautiful female immortals. You're not bad, but not to the degree for him to fall in love on first sight, right? Emo said straightforwardly. Xianxia laughed in self-mockery. It's because ever since I rebuilt my body I changed my looks completely. I hated the look I had before. Emo didn't want to keep listening and waved his hand for her to stop. I'm going to go. I don't want to listen to this sort of gossip. No, I'm almost done. Xianxia didn't stop. Gongji Tsangming's power was extremely high and very smart. Seeing that I wasn't interested in him, he used all means to chase me. I got many benefits from him and even realized his secret to cultivating so fast and being so smart, but I still couldn't like him. In the end, I could only go, but he felt he got me. You left, and he thought he got you? What do you mean? Emo looked at her in confusion. Because I have a twin sister called Yu Yinping. She looks almost exactly the same as me. As for whether or not she likes him, I'm not certain, but I'm certain they've been together. Gongji Tsangming's black forehead is probably due to her ambush. Other than her, no one can ambush him. Xianxia said in a sad tone. Emo realized. So you were ambushed by your sister too? Yes, I was ambushed by her. Luckily I saw Luoxiao Wu Wood. I hated my original look. It wasn't because it was too ugly or pretty, but I looked too similar to Yu Yinping. Yu Jinxiang's tone when mentioning Yu Yinping was extremely calm. Emo frowned. I heard how absolute the tone of Gongji Tsangming was when he said he was going to kill you. You're saying that he likes you. If it's really so, then how could he use such a tone to ask someone to kill you? Perhaps his personality changed, Sai? Yu Jinxiang sighed and said after a while, I don't feel your killing intent towards me. I'll tell you something. I'm certain that Yu Yinping doesn't truly like Gongji Tsangming. She's with Gongji Tsangming to steal his abstruse yellow orb. The orb the main character in Gate of Good Fortune got. That's the secret of Gongji Tsangming. He loved me too much and told me. It's no wonder that Yu Yinping can know. What is abstruse yellow orb? This was the first time Yemo heard of this thing. Abstruse yellow orb is a natural spirit treasure. Can form abstruse yellow chi. Abstruse yellow orb can become one's own world. This purer than truth spirit world. Cultivating inside can allow one to devour abstruse yellow chi. The chi inside is formed naturally. Once a cultivator devours it, it can cleanse intelligence and immortal root. It would automatically correct the wrong parts of a cultivator's cultivation method. At the same time, cultivating inside the orb will make you many times faster than anyone else. Usually, those who cultivate in the abstruse yellow orb are invincible amongst their peers. Hearing this, Yemo took in a cold breath. This abstruse yellow orb could match his golden page world and had the use of 3 birth chant and bitter bamboo. Seeing Yemo's change in complexion, Yu Jinxiang continued. Yu Yinping definitely ambushed Gongji Tsangming for the abstruse yellow orb, but since Gongji Tsangming has a sliver of essence spirit left, it means that the abstruse yellow orb isn't taken. So if you don't want to kill me, please take me to Chaos Star Realm. How do you know I don't want to kill you? You want to take the abstruse yellow orb at the Chaos Star Realm. Yemo said plainly. Yu Jinxiang didn't mind Yemo's tone. I can feel you have no intent to kill me. I know what poison Yu Yinping used. Gongji Tsangming would never be able to remove it without help. If he's not dead, I'll explain that I didn't harm him. If he's dead, then helping you find abstruse yellow orb will repay you for not killing me. I know Gongji Tsangming's character. He would definitely not keep the abstruse yellow orb with him. Only I can find where it is. Sect leader Yi. Who is she? Ning Yu looked at Yu Jinxiang and asked. Yu Jinxiang also asked in confusion, Martial brother Yi, you're a sect leader? Yi Mo nodded. That's right. I made a sect called MOU Immortal Sect in Gonghua Heaven. I'm the sect leader. There was a sliver of joy on her face. Sect leader Yi, can I join your sect? For a Qian Bei master like you, of course I welcome you into the sect, but you seem to have a sect. Yi Mo knew Yu Jinxiang came from Jiufan Immortal Pond. Yu Jinxiang bowed. My past is gone. The current me has nothing to do with it. Ning Yu realized that Yi Mo just met Yu Jinxiang and she quickly said, Sect leader Yi, you told me before I can join your sect. Your things are probably done, so I'm planning to go with you. I have nowhere to go now. I want to join MOU Immortal Sect too. It's almost as if I can to steal people away. Yi Mo rubbed his head. Yi Mo soon cast that aside and pointed at Yu Jinxiang. Ning Yu, this is Yu Su. She said she forgot her past, so I won't speak of it. Greet martial sister Yu. Ning Yu quickly bowed. Yu Jinxiang quickly held Ning Yu and smiled. I've long known martial sister Ning Yu. Then Yu Jinxiang smiled. Martial brother Yi. I'm probably the oldest in your sect. You can give me a grand elder. Yi Mo smiled. Martial sister Yu. Call me Yi Mo or martial brother. Just like you said you're much older than me. Okay, sure, I don't mind. Then, Yi Mo smiled. But you're really not the oldest in our sect. Ning Yu didn't know who Yu Jinxiang was, but Yu Jinxiang looked at Yi Mo and asked, Is there someone older than me in the sect you just built? That's right, you probably know. He was very famous many years ago. Kaimi Divine Emperor. Yu Jinxiang interrupted Yi Mo in shock. Ning Yu stared at Yi Mo in shock too. Yi Mo's words were too shocking. A divine emperor would join a low heaven domain ordinary sect. Who would believe this? That's right, it's Kaimi Divine Emperor, but he's no longer Divine Emperor. His power dropped to Immortal Emperor. As for whether or not he can recover, It would depend on his luck. Emo said. After a long while, Xianxia came back to her sense. Martial brother Kaimi Divine Emperor really joined Emo you Immortal sect? Really? Martial sister Ning Yu, you're going with sect leader Yi to join Emo you Immortal sect? Miyun looked at Ning Yu in disbelief. Emo only stayed in Ning Yu's room for a day. Even Mu Li Immortal Emperor only thought there was some affair between them. If Emo took Ning Yu, Ethereal Immortal Pond would be joined with Emo. But there was a process for this. The marriage alliance in the immortal realm was much more complex than the cultivation realm and mortal world. They invited many sects and high-status people. Even if Ning Yu was to marry into MOU Immortal sect, it would have to go through many processes. Ning Yu leaving with Emo likes this in bad terms was eloping. Mu Li Immortal Emperor was extremely polite to Emo, but that was for the benefit of the sect. Now, Ning Yu didn't bring back any benefits and was going to leave. She couldn't sit anymore. Sect leader Yi, Ning Yu has always been our core disciple. It's her fortune that she could join MOU Immortal sect. Ethereal Immortal Pond definitely won't object, but we're a big sect, so I think we should invite a few friends from the immortal realm to come drink a few cups of wine. Mu Li Immortal Emperor looked at Emo and wanted to know what Emo meant. Even if Emo was dominant, he couldn't rob other sect members for no reason. Emo immediately understood what she meant and smiled as he saluted with his fists. Mu Li Qianbei, you misunderstood me. Ning Yu isn't marrying me. She has no place to go, so she's leaving Ethereal Immortal Pond. I happen to know her, so I invited her to MOU Immortal sect. Ning Yu quickly kneeled on the ground. Martial ancestor Mu Li, sect leader Chan. Ning Yu knows she has done a lot of wrong things. I have no face to stay in Ethereal Immortal Pond anymore. Even if sect leader Yi doesn't take me in, I would still leave Ethereal Immortal Pond to seek new fortunes. If martial ancestor and sect leader has any punishments for Ning Yu won't complain one bit. Mu Li Immortal Emperor, the few immortal monarchs and even the sect leader fell silent. They knew Ning Yu's situation. She had made huge mistakes. If she could still be rewarded King Pill, the sect would have no authority. No matter how good her talent was, she couldn't be excluded. It could be said that she had no future in the sect anymore. Sigh, in that case. Then take away her power and cast her out of Ethereal Immortal Pond. Mu Li Immortal Emperor sighed. Ning Yu's power had to be taken away. Otherwise, if one made mistakes and left the sect like that, there would be no system of rules. Emo sneered. He knew that Mu Li Immortal Emperor said this to him, but he didn't reject. He said, I'm a sect leader and I want to see my sect members' power being taken away. Mu Li Qianbei, I'll take Ning Yu's mistakes for her. Whatever requests Ethereal Immortal Pond has, I can satisfy some. I heard sect leader Yi is a level 8 Immortal Pill Grandmaster. Can you concoct Monarch will pill? Mu Li Immortal Emperor was waiting for this. Wrong. Emo said bluntly. Everyone including Ning Yu and Xianxia looked at Emo in confusion. I'm not a level 8 Immortal Pill Grandmaster. I'm a level 9 Immortal Pill Grandmaster. Emo said. Sect leader Yi, you're saying you're a level 9 Immortal Pill Grandmaster? You can concoct Emperor Rise Pill? Sect leader Chan said in excitement. You didn't say it completely. Other than Emperor Rise Pill, I can also concoct Taiwei Emperor Return Pill. Emo's words was like a meteorite shocking this guest hall. Mu Li Immortal Emperor dazed for a long time before suddenly getting up and bowing to Emo. Mu Li pleads sect leader Yi to concoct a cauldron of Taiwei Emperor Return Pill and a cauldron of Monarch will pill for Ethereal Immortal Pond. Of course, we can supply the materials. Okay. Emo said. Zhen Bingyu stood outside the ice extreme floating mountain at Chaos Star Realm Level 3. She didn't speak for a long time. She had been working hard in cultivation, and with the cultivation resources and cultivation method Emo gave her as well as her own fortune in the Chaos Star Realm, she had reached Immortal King in a few years. Her body refinement also reached Immortal Spirit Body primary stage. She stood here as she brought Emo here before. She still remembered the conversation between them clearly. I'll Nirvana here. If you've seen enough, then please go. She said this when Emo stared at her when her clothes were frozen to dust. How could she imagine that her Dao heart was completely different now? She thought of Yi Mo's gaze before and felt uneasy. She had persuaded Yi Mo more than once that he should focus on cultivation. Emotions were nothing and don't waste his good heritage. But now, Yi Mo's still the same Yi Mo, but she wasn't the same her. Yi Mo changed her, she didn't change Yi Mo. She had never thought that one day her head would be covered with the figure of that man. However, this figure made her feel warm and joy. The memories were etched into her bones. Can even Dao heart change? Zhen Bingyu murmured. Zhen Bingyu touched the blue dress on her clothes. It was the same one Yi Mo bought for her in Qing Mo Immortal City. After she reached Immortal King, she changed into it. Yi Mo, wait for me. I'm still going to venture with you. Cultivating alone is too boring. Perhaps some lust would be okay. Zhen Bingyu finally made up her mind. Even if Yi Mo had wives, she didn't mind. Rumble. Two magic artifacts clashing sounded, and soon two fighting figures came up to Zhen Bingyu. It's you. The man running saw Zhen Bingyu and immediately recognized her. Zhen Bingyu was more beautiful and perfect than before. The immortal chasing the man also looked at Zhen Bingyu in shock. There were beautiful women everywhere in the immortal realm, but she had never seen someone so beautiful in looks and body like Zhen Bingyu. You're Fengti Zuair? Zhen Bingyu recognized this man. She encountered him with Yi Mo at the Extreme Star Swamp. At that time, she and Yi Mo found more than 106 winged purple carrots, and when they were going to collect it, Fengti Zuair suddenly appeared and killed the swamp tiger crocodile. She didn't know his cultivation level at the time, but he was immortal nirvana body. Now, she saw his cultivation level. It was just a great extreme immortal middle stage. Meanwhile, the person hunting him was great eternity immortal primary stage. He was fine up until now, probably due to his body refinement level. Fengti Zuair clearly wanted to run into the ice extreme floating mountain. In there, he probably wouldn't fear that great eternity immortal. I didn't expect to see you here. I'm really lucky, Fengti Zuair said in surprise and joy. Then, he said to that great eternity immortal primary stage Gong Zhishang, I'll give you the thing. Go, I see someone I know. I'm going to chat with her for a while. Fengti Zuair didn't wait for an answer and rubbed his hands. Martial sister? Is that guy who likes to bluff dead? Speak with your manners. Yi Mo's not someone you can talk about. Zhen Bingyu's face sunk immediately hearing Fengti Zuair talk shit about Yi Mo. Haha. I want this female immortal too. Fengti Zuair, you can piss off. Seeing that you brought me to this female immortal, leave the thing and I won't kill you today. That Gong Zhishang great eternity immortal laughed. Zhen Bingyu was already annoyed, and now that Gong Zhishang said this, she immediately got triggered. Her immortal king Domai exploded and at the same time slapped with an immortal essence giant hand. Immortal king master, Gong Zhishang said in shock, but the next moment he was slapped flying by Zhen Bingyu. His entire row of teeth fell, and this was Zhen Bingyu showing mercy. He was confused for not being able to see Zhen Bingyu's cultivation level, but seeing Fengti Zuair not so polite to her, he knew that Zhen Bingyu's cultivation level wasn't higher than his. Until he was slapped away, he realized that Zhen Bingyu was an immortal king. Piss off, Zhen Bingyu yelled. Gong Zhishang didn't dare to say no at all. He quickly bowed and left. It was his huge luck that he could still survive after offending an immortal king master. Fengti Zuair stared dazedly at Zhen Bingyu and said in equal shock, You're already an immortal king Qianbei. When he first saw Zhen Bingyu, she was at most abstruse immortal tertiary stage, but it's only been these years and she was immortal king. How did she cultivate? Yi Mo said, you're a good person, so I'll help you once today. If you dare to be rude to me again, I'll kill you straight away. Piss off, Zhen Bingyu said. Fengti Zuair realized that the person with Zhen Bingyu was called Yi Mo. He quickly bowed. Yes, Qianbei will leave now immediately. No matter how powerful his background was, Zhen Bingyu could crush him with one finger here. Plus, Zhen Bingyu had been the person he loved. He didn't get the Chaos Blue reed before, so he went around to find Zhen Bingyu, but he wasn't able to find her. Seeing the two leave, Zhen Bingyu quickly left. With her immortal king power, she came to Chaos Star Realm Level 1 in less than 2 weeks. When her spirit sense scanned Extreme Star Swamp, she couldn't resist landing there. She started collaborating here with Yemo, and the two had been together ever since until Yemo went to Yuanlu heaven. The place had very little immortal spirit chi, and one's cultivation level would be suppressed inside. Usually, people wouldn't come here, but Zhen Bingyu found a low-level immortal here running out. This immortal was only golden immortal primary stage. There was very little golden immortal primary stage immortals in the Chaos Star realms. Even Zhen Bingyu only knew Yemo. After all these years, she saw a second one. She immediately had some good impression of this person. She seemed to saw Yemo's fighting spirit on him. Qian Bei. This golden immortal primary stage came to the border of Extreme Star Swamp and saw Zhen Bingyu stare at him. He quickly looked down and bowed while his heart thumped quickly. There was such a perfect woman in the world. This was the first time he saw a female immortal this beautiful. "What's your name?" Zhen Bingyu looked at the skinny golden immortal and asked. She saw Yemo on this golden immortal primary stage. The golden immortal bowed. "Wanbei Dongfang Wang. What does Qian Bei need Wanbei for? Wanbei is willing to help." Zhen Bingyu smiled. "I don't need you to help me with anything yet, but seeing you made me think of some things. This storage ring is for you. Good luck." Zhen Bingyu left the storage ring and disappeared. Dongfang Wang grabbed the storage ring Zhen Bingyu gave him dazedly. Ever since going to the cultivation realm, he knew that 90% of cultivators were selfish. He was able to reach this state today because he had brains and he never gave what he got to others. He would have never thought someone would give him a storage ring to him. His spirit sense scanned in. There were 100k top-grade immortal crystals and a few middle-grade immortal artifact. However, there were no immortal pills. Of course, Zhen Bingyu had lots of immortal pills in her storage ring, but they were given to her by Yemo. Even if she didn't need it, she wasn't going to give it away. She gave Dongfang Wang the immortal artifacts because they were her loot and it was a waste of space. If she knew Dongfang Wang was the person Yemo wanted to kill the most, she would turn back and kill this person without hesitation. Thinking about Zhen Bingyu's world-shocking beauty, Dongfang Wang shook his head. The difference between them was too huge. He put the storage ring away and soon disappeared. His speed was no slower than ordinary abstruse immortals. In a short while he came to a well. If Yemo was here, he would be able to recognize this was the place he encountered the golden skeleton. Dongfang Wang came here and jumped in without hesitation. "Qian Bei, I brought it over." Dongfang Wang came to the golden skeleton and knelt down while extending his hand out. There was 3 black flowers on his hand. "That's right, it's this. You're very good, much better than that kid," the skeleton said, and a light wind blew over. The 3 flowers landed in the skeleton's mouth. "Qian Bei, the abstruse yellow orb?" Dongfang Wang asked carefully. The golden skeleton said, "There's no rush for that. We'll wait till I remove the poison." "Qian Bei, if you don't remove this poison, would your essence spirit be gone in some time?" Dongfang Wang still knelt down but acted innocent. "What do you think? My essence spirit?" The golden skeleton wasn't able to finish his sentence and made this extremely furious sound. "I think your essence spirit is weaker than a golden immortal, right?" Dongfang Wang suddenly got up and robbed the golden staff. You! The golden skeleton screamed. "You spirit controlled the black dragon flower. Even I couldn't tell. What cultivation method are you cultivating?" Dongfang Wang laughed. "You're weaker than a dog. You don't even have golden immortal spirit sense, and yet you want to check my black dragon flower? Keep dreaming. Die." Dongfang Wang brought out a mist ray in his hand and he grabbed that golden staff. He knew that this sliver of essence spirit was about to cripple, and that's why he dared to ambush him. "Even if I, Gongji Tsangming, abandon my golden body, I won't let you go," the golden skeleton said, and then an extremely faint shadow ran into Dongfang Wang's body. The next moment, Dongfang Wang gave up that golden staff and his face became hideous. "If I'm possessed by you, then I would have spirit-controlled that black dragon flower for nothing." Dongfang Wang suddenly took out 2 black needles and pierced down from the top of his head and sat down. "You're cultivating Great Ku and Demon King Sutra." A shocked and furious voice sounded in Dongfang Wang's mind. "You rat!" Dongfang Wang sneered. "Playing tricks with me? I've never lost to people in my life playing tricks." You're a mere skeleton and you dare to play tricks with me? If it wasn't that Yi guy had power that far surpassed me, how was he a match for me? If it wasn't that bastard who damaged my essence spirit again, how can I fear you? The golden skeleton screamed again. Brother, are we going back now? Tang Beiwei asked as soon as they left Ethereal Immortal Pond. No, we're going Ice God Palace. I haven't been there before and people I've asked don't really know too, so let's go to Qingwei Heaven first. Yemo was worried about Nye Shuangshuang. As long as she was fine at the immortal god body, he would just go visit and leave. Eugene Xiang suddenly said, Martial brother, I actually know about that Ice God Palace. You know where it is? Yemo rejoiced. He asked a few immortal emperors, but they all didn't know where it was. I know the approximate location. It's a bit strange there, even with my current power, it's hard to get close to it. Even if you go then, you have to go alone. Eugene Xiang said carefully. Yemo immediately remembered what Lang Xian Immortal Emperor said. Is Ice God Palace near Qingwei Abyssal River? Ordinary people couldn't go there, the murderous qi there was too powerful. There should be more than one entrance to the Ice God Palace. But I know one of them and one must pass the Qingwei Abyssal River indeed. Eugene Xiang said. Seeing Yemo fall in silence, she added, the closest immortal city near Ice God Palace is Ice Immortal City. How about we go there and then Beiwei, Ningyu and I will wait for you there. After hesitating, Yemo said, that will do. Let's go to Qingwei Heaven first. In an immortal rest tower in Ice Immortal City, Yemo and them were in a room discussing the details. Eugene Xiang had the most experience and told Yemo many things he needed to take care of. Above the river, anything would be extremely heavy. One couldn't fly at all. Even weaker immortal kings would be grinded by that killing qi. Those who could go to the river were all body refinement cultivators or had some top-level slaughter god art. There are some body refinement cultivators choosing to cultivate next to the river. I didn't go there yet because my cultivation level hasn't recovered yet. I was planning to go when my power has recovered. The body refinement cultivators there have a lot of experience, you might be able to ask them. Eugene Xiang was afraid Yemo would be careless just because his power was strong. Yemo knew what she meant and thanked. I don't know how long I will be gone for, so I'll leave Beiwei and Ningyu to you. Feng Kong Grand Emperor and Dragon River Grand Emperor hasn't returned to Qingwei Heaven yet. They probably had some accident in the void. If there's some incident here, you can leave first or even go back to Gonghua Heaven MOU Immortal Sect. Don't worry, I understand. Eugene Xiang knew Yemo's worry because Yemo already told her about the formation in that palace. She knew how important Tang Beiwei was to Yemo, so no matter what, she wasn't going to let Tang Beiwei get injured. Ningyu, Beiwei, you all have cultivation resources. Use this time to bring up your cultivation level. Yemo added. Don't worry, brother. I will definitely speed up my cultivation. Tang Beiwei said. Her cultivation level was too low. If she was immortal king power, her brother might even take her this time. Eugene Xiang said, You've left many resources to me. I will try to bring my back to Immortal Monarch quickly. The few exchanged communication beads, and then Yemo left the city towards the river. Qingwei Abyssal River wasn't far from Ice Immortal City indeed. Of course, this is only relative to Yemo's power. Even when using the space-time boat, Yemo took half a day to get near Qingwei Abyssal River. From a long distance away, Yemo's spirit sense could only see a white patch. As he got closer to the Qingwei Abyssal River, the murderous qi became heavier. Even Yemo could feel invisible blood blades and sharp rays. Yemo's spirit sense domain expanded. He was shocked. He was far from close to the Qingwei Abyssal River and there was such murderous qi. Even body refinement wasn't something easy here. He put away the space-time boat and Yemo began walking. As he got closer, this ancient fighting sound appeared in his brain. A giant with an angry face stood in the void, raising his enormous hand and slapped down. Rumble. Entire continents turned to rubble. What remained was a huge palm print with endless murderous qi. Yemo took in a cold breath. There was still some distance to Qingwei Abyssal River, but he felt the terror of that palm. Countless years had passed and that palm print became an endless river. That river was Qingwei Abyssal River. Emo's spirit sense expanded and soon dazed. His spirit sense saw a small hotel that was absurdly small. Emo sped up. He didn't use much time and arrived at this hotel. He was certain this was no immortal artifact but a real hotel built with bricks and stones. The hotel was tattered, and there was an even more tattered flag hanging out that had the word wine. Next to it was a dark stone tablet with a simple poem. 1 bottle of Dunyang wine. 1 can reach the river. 2 bottles of Dunyang wine. No stress to enter the river. 3 bottles of Dunyang wine. Travel the abyssal river however you like. Such puffery. This advertisement made it seem like anyone could travel the abyssal river however they liked if they drank 3 bottles of Dunyang wine. Seeing this, Emo went in the hotel without hesitation, and the surrounding murderous chi disappeared immediately. The space inside looked the same as outside. There was no space immortal artifact here. There were very little people inside. A pale-faced woman sat at a simple bar, and there were a few wine kettles on there. They were different colored. Blue, white, and black. There were only 3 tables in here, and they were all seated. The female immortal's cultivation level was obscure. It seemed to be immortal king or immortal monarch. Emo's spirit sense scanned her without hesitation and immediately saw that she was an immortal emperor primary stage. An immortal emperor was selling wine here? Emo felt this was strange. The first table sat a man and woman. The man was very handsome and the woman was extremely pretty. They had a wine bottle on their table that was blue-colored. Emo saw their cultivation levels. The man was Immortal Monarch primary stage and the woman Immortal Monarch primary stage. The second table had 3 people. The outermost one with long hair was Immortal Monarch middle stage. The white-skinned man was only Immortal King middle stage and a monk-looking guy was Immortal Monarch middle stage. They also had a wine that was blue-colored. The third table had a shrunken old man. He had no wine on the table. Seeing this old man, Emo was shocked. He scanned with his spirit sense and couldn't see his appearance. When he carefully scanned, he realized the old man's skin was like tree clumps. No matter how meticulous he was, he couldn't see the power level of this old man. Even for Xianxia, he would be able to see her cultivation level if he checked carefully the first time. Emo's spirit sense couldn't see through the real power of this old man. He could if he forcefully checked with his spirit sense blades, but that would be offensive. Emo ignored these people and came up to the counter. I want to go check out Qingwei Abyssal River. Is there some information jade slip for sale, or is there anything I need to prepare? Yes, 1 top-grade immortal crystals. The pale-faced woman sneered and threw out a jade slip. That cheap? Emo thought an immortal emperor selling things here would mean the price was absurd. Emo passed a top-grade immortal crystals over and checked the jade slip. He soon realized why it costed only 1 immortal crystals. It was the poem he saw at the door. Dunyang, I want 1 bottle of blue wine. One white-haired bulky man walked in and yelled at the woman while throwing a storage ring over. The woman checked the storage ring and then threw over a blue bottle. This blue bottle was much smaller than the blue kettle. Friend, may I ask what use does this blue wine have? Emo saluted with his fists. The white-haired man studied Emo and said, You're an immortal king middle stage. There's no point in asking. Come back when you're immortal spirit body tertiary stage or immortal monarch. Then he ignored Emo and went on the wooden stool without a table next to the door and sat down before drinking a small mouth. Then the man stopped moving. Now Emo realized why no one moved. It seemed they were learning the killing intent in the wine. Emo's spirit sense scanned the wine bottle in the man's hand. An extremely fierce killing intent invaded his spirit sense. Wine with killing intent? Emo was shocked. There really was everything in the immortal realm. Even though Emo didn't drink this wine, he guessed that after drinking the wine, one could turn the killing intent in the wine into his own killing intent and use that against the killing chi of Qingwei Abyssal River. Dunyang, give me a kettle of blue wine, Emo immediately said. The shop was very quiet, and after Emo said this there was a strangeness in the atmosphere. After a while, the long-haired immortal monarch at the 3-man table laughed. A mere immortal king dares to ask for a kettle of blue wine, haha. The man and woman glanced at Emo casually before shaking their heads. The old man suddenly got up and slowly walked towards the counter. Do you know that Dunyang wine is very expensive? The old man laughed. Emo nodded. I believe it won't be cheap. Since you know it's expensive, you still dare to buy it? The old man narrowed his eyes and scanned Emo. Before Emo answered, two more people came. It was an old woman and a braided young girl. The girl looked in her teens but was already Immortal King primary stage. The old woman was an Immortal Emperor middle stage, but she hid her power to Immortal Monarch middle stage. However, Emo saw through it immediately. I'm not too wealthy, but I can afford a few bottles of wine. Emo smiled and looked at the female Immortal. Give me the wine. You're that wealthy, can you treat me to a kettle of white wine? The old man pointed to the white wine bottle and wiped the saliva on his mouth. Emo said plainly, Sorry. I'm not poor, but my immortal crystals are from a small business. I can't treat people so casually. Emo didn't know the price, but he knew it wasn't cheap. He wasn't that generous to treat a guy whom he didn't know. You must pay first. Dunyang said coldly but didn't move, clearly thinking Emo couldn't afford it. Emo wanced angry and asked, How much? If you have blue wine killstone, then you can get a blue kettle with 100. If you have white wine killstone, then you can get a blue kettle for 10. If you have black wine killstone, I can give you 10 blue kettles for 1. Dunyang said. The long-haired immortal monarch laughed. Dunyang, he probably doesn't even know what wine killstone is. Emo saluted with his fists. Dunyang, I don't know what it is. It's my first time here. Haha. I thought I was the boldest, but master, isn't here someone braver than me? He dares to buy blue wine the first time he's here. The young girl laughed. Then she pointed at Emo. Stupid egg. The wine killstone is the stone on the banks of Qingwei Abyssal River. It took my master many years to find 200 blue ones. You have to find white ones inside the river. But you can just buy one bottle. One bottle is only a tenth of a kettle and it's cheaper. Emo finally understood what was going on and saluted with his fists. Dunyang. It's my first time here. I really don't have wine killstone, but I really want to drink this blue wine too. Do you not take immortal crystals here? Immortal crystals? Why wouldn't I take it? Didn't I just take one? Dunyang said slowly. But I don't take immortal crystals for my wine. Seeing how you're so genuine, I'll take an extreme grade immortal range. If you have that, I'll give you a kettle of blue wine. The sneer on her face made Emo lose all good impression of this shop. He immediately turned to go. Almost everyone thought he was going to leave. Emo wasn't going to leave, of course. Extreme grade immortal range was indeed precious, but Emo wanted to know about that wine more. He came to the entrance of the shop and waved his hand. A terrifying sound came outside and a white figure landed. All the killing chi were smashed away by this white figure. Immortal spirit chi dense to a new extreme rushed in the shop. In that instant, everyone realized what Emo took out. It really was an extreme grade immortal range. You? The braided young girl looked at Emo in shock. You really took out an extreme grade immortal range? You're a mere immortal king, but you have extreme grade immortal range? There finally was a sliver of shock on Dunyang's face. He could give this immortal range to Dunyang in a storage ring, but her scorn made Emo annoyed, so Emo threw it down here. Who said that immortal kings can't have extreme grade immortal range? The immortal range is yours now, give me the wine. Emo reached out his hand. This time Dunyang didn't hesitate and threw a blue wine kettle to Emo, but she didn't take the immortal range. The immortal range didn't stay there for long and sunk into the ground and disappeared. Just when Emo was going to drink it in a big gulp, the handsome man from the first table suddenly said, This blue wine is made with blue wine killstone. With your power, you can't take it if you drink in a big mouthful. Emo knew that the man reminded him, thinking his cultivation level was low. Emo scanned around and saw no one else reminded him. Even that Dunyang just looked at him coldly, as though if he fell down they could come up and divide his assets. What a pity. If you died, perhaps I can find an extreme grade immortal range in your storage ring too. The braided girl sighed. Thank you, friend. Emo thanked and saluted with his fists to this man. At the same time, he lost all good impression of this little girl. She seemed innocent but was so evil. Despite thanking him, Emo still drank the wine in a big gulp. The nearby people dazed. Was this immortal king seeking death or crazy? Even immortal monarchs drank in small sips. Emo wasn't seeking death. His spirit sense could sense the killing intent in the wine. After drinking it, he clearly felt the killing intent. It charged at his sea of consciousness and even wanted to twist his meridians, but with the pressure of Yemo's immortal essence and spirit sense, it immediately turned into knowledge of killing intent. His understanding of killing intent god art was deeper. His spirit sense scanned out and the murderous chi outside affected him less. No wonder the poem goes one kettle of wine and one can reach the abyssal river. That probably meant the blue kettle. What was the white kettle? You're fine. The braided girl saw Yemo drank a big gulp and was completely fine. He didn't even need to sit down and refine it. The rest of the people looked at Yemo with a daze. No one was stupid here, and seeing that Yemo was completely fine after drinking a big gulp, everyone realized he wasn't simple. What shocked them even more was that this time Yemo raised the winna kettle and poured the entire kettle in his mouth. A terrifying killing intent swept over. Yemo felt satisfied. As he used his immortal essence, the killing intent soon was fused into his god art by the three-birth chant. Yemo could clearly feel part of his god arts improve. At the same time, his cultivation level loosened up. At this moment, he scanned his spirit sense outside. That terrifying murderous chi became much tamer. It wasn't fierce and oppressive as before. This blue wine's not bad. How much is the white wine? Yemo put the empty wine kettle on the bar and asked Dunyang. There was no more sound in the shop. That long-haired man who scorned Yemo even shivered. If he still didn't realize that Yemo hid his power, then he would be an idiot. Even if Yemo wasn't an immortal emperor, he would be a top-level body refinement immortal. White wine is 100 white wine kill stones for a kettle. Dunyang offended immortal friend before. I'm willing to give you 10% off. Just 90 white wine kill stones are fine. Dunyang got up and bowed to Yemo. She had been selling wine for all these years, from immortal monarch to immortal emperor. From immortal spirit body primary stage to a immortal god body primary stage, but she had never seen someone like Yemo who came here for the first time and ranked the entire kettle in one go. Yemo was shocked at this price. Wouldn't that mean it would cost 10 extreme grade immortal ranges? The white wine would definitely be better than the blue wine, but Yemo didn't want to use 9 extreme grade immortal ranges to buy one. In that case, never mind. I'll go see if I can find some white wine kill stones in the Qingwei Abyssal River. Yemo said and turned to leave. Immortal friend, please wait a moment. The immortal emperor middle stage old woman suddenly stopped Yemo. Seeing Yemo stop, she said, Immortal friend, seeing as how you drank the blue wine so quickly, you must be a top-level body refinement immortal? If you reached immortal god body, then I'm willing to collaborate with you to explore the Qingwei Abyssal River Lightning Kill God Palace. Lightning Kill God Palace? Yemo knew from Kaimi that Qingwei Abyssal River was formed by the palm of a powerful being. How could there be some god palace then? It's your first time at Qingwei Abyssal River? Seeing that Yemo didn't even know this, the old woman frowned. Yemo quickly saluted with his fists. That's right. It's my first time here. That's why I wanted to buy a jade slip to know about the situation here. The old woman nodded. Ever since people could come in here, the Lightning Kill God Palace was found. You probably know Jiuqian Emperor sect Zhizong Immortal Emperor, right? He has an golden bow of immortal extermination. He found the bow in that palace. It seems news of Yemo taking the bow still hasn't reached here yet. What? Golden bow of immortal extermination came from the Lightning Kill God Palace. Yemo became excited. Yemo's second purpose here was to find the remaining 8 golden bone arrows. Dunyang gave a jade slip to Yemo again in awkwardness. Immortal friend. This is free. Thank you. Yemo scanned his spirit sense in immediately. This jade slip was very precise. It's unknown when the Qingwei Abyssal River appeared, but it said that it was palmed out by a powerful being. The murderous chi never dissipated, and at the start, the murderous chi was so powerful that even immortal emperors couldn't get close. Later on, the murderous chi dissipated and body refinement cultivators could come over here. Countless body refinement immortals reaped great benefits here at the Qingwei Abyssal River. This was not only the pinnacle grounds for body refinement, but the Qingwei Abyssal River also created countless wine kill stone. The stone contains all sorts of killing intent and killing force. Could help cultivators learn kill force god art. However, different people had different capabilities to learning. Later on, there was a powerful winemaker who combined the stones with immortal spirit herb to create 3 wines. It was the blue, white, and black wine. Drinking this wine was much easier to learn Dao art than using the wine kill stone. This was why the wine was so appreciated, but its value was too high. Ordinary people wouldn't be able to get enough wine kill stones even after cultivating here for countless years. Other than wine kill stones, lightning kill god palace was found in the Qingwei Abyssal River too. The most famous magic artifact from there was Golden Bow of Immortal Extermination. It was taken by Xizong Immortal Emperor, and using this, Xizong Immortal Emperor set his dominant status in the immortal realm and developed Joqian Emperor sect into one of the top emperor sections. Not everyone was so lucky. Many cultivators who came here were obliterated by the murderous Qi. The lightning kill god palace is extremely huge. I've been once and I know part of the life corners. Seeing Yemo put away the jade slip, the old woman said, "What's life corner?" Yemo asked. "Corners with no murderous Qi." "I've been there," the young girl quickly said. "To Qianbei we have part of the map to the lightning kill god palace. This map is left behind by an immortal emperor peak stage. We're willing to contribute the map." The immortal monarch middle stage got up and saluted with his fists to Yemo and the old woman. "You want to join up with us to the palace?" Yemo had some good impression of this immortal monarch. The pretty female immortal monarch also got up and said in surprise, "Brother Shang Yu?" The immortal monarch middle stage saluted with his fists to Yemo. "We're a couple and we've been cultivating our body here for a few centuries. We're about to leave here, but we got a partial map of the palace. However, we can't go in. I feel Qianbei isn't an ordinary person, so I want to give this map to Qianbei. Wanbei wishes to follow the two Qianbei in." Then, the immortal monarch middle stage took out a jade slip and the jade slip floated to Yemo. Yemo looked inside. There was a white river, but there were markers to enter the river and there was guidelines in the river. The man knew they were too weak and couldn't explore the palace even with the map, so they gave it to Yemo in hopes of Yemo taking them in. Yemo and everyone realized what they meant. Yemo saluted with his fists. "If you and your wife don't mind, you can come in with me, but my power is weak and I might not be able to take care of you too." The immortal monarch middle stage immediately saluted with his fists. "Wanbei and my wife only wish to follow Qianbei inside the palace. As for our life and death inside, we won't burden Qianbei." Wanbei Yu Lixing, title Yuanzhong. This is Wanbei's Dao partner, Shi Qiong, title Qi Qing. They definitely have some purpose wanting to go in the palace so desperately, but Yemo didn't mind as long as there was no conflict of interest. "Okay. I'm called Yemo," Yemo said straightforwardly. At this moment, the scrawny old man laughed. "I also want to join the fun with you guys. I'm only good with spirit sense cultivation method and have some experience in blocking the murderous Qi." The old man finished and then a ripple appeared in front of him. The ripple expanded like a shield and slowly went out of the shop. Everyone's spirit sense followed the ripple and found that all the murderous Qi was blocked by the shield tunnel. Spirit sense could go in freely. Yemo was alert. This old guy had such powerful spirit sense cultivation method. With that, he was no weaker than the old woman. At this moment, the white-haired man got up and saluted with his fists. "Qianbei, Wanbei Gai Xianxia. I have a twisted moon mirror artifact that can detect the power of murderous Qi. If Qianbei don't mind, I wish to join the squad too. I only wish to go to the outer palace. This magic artifact is good. You can join us," the old woman said before Yemo could speak. Yemo looked around. He felt he said nothing, but these people treated him as the leader. He really wanted to go to the palace, but he didn't agree to join up with them. Yemo had the feeling that he was being used. "Everyone, my cultivation level isn't high. I believe there's many people stronger than me here. In that case, why does everyone want to join up with me?" Yemo was very straightforward. This concerned his life. He had to ask. Yu Lixing spoke first. "Yi Qianbei, It's because you can drink a kettle of blue wine in one go. Regardless if you're immortal emperor or an immortal god body Qianbei, that means Qianbei's domain can block the murderous qi of the Qingwei Abyssal River. The scariest thing about entering the Qingwei Abyssal River is this murderous qi. If Qianbei's domain can block the murderous qi, we would have half the trouble of entering the palace. Emo nodded to you leshing and sneered at the old woman. So you're planning to use me as a shield? My cultivation level is low, but not everyone can use me as a shield. The old woman smiled and didn't mind. You're wrong. I'm collaborating with you, not using you as a shield. My domain can't block the murderous qi as well as you, but it's not for show. If our domain combines and then there's the old man's spirit sense wall and Guy Xianxia's twisted moon mirror, there's almost no pressure going into the palace. You're the best at blocking the murderous qi, that's why you're the leader. We have to add our domains onto yours. Yi Qianbei, this Qianbei is right, it's indeed so. Yu Lixing quickly added. So that's it. Yimo's anger before was fake. He turned around and smiled to Dunyang. Dunyang, is there any other way to buy your white and black wine? Dunyang smiled to Yimo. Of course, but the value of that thing can't be low. Yimo laughed and took out a jade box. Of course not. There's a fruit inside to trade for one kettle or blue, white, and black wine. Before Yimo finished, everyone in here stared at Yimo thinking he was crazy. No matter what immortal fruit Yimo took out, it wouldn't be enough to trade for these 3 fruits unless it was something like Death Dao fruit. Dunyang's face sunk immediately. Dao Friendy is playing with me? She didn't plan to open it at all because she felt there was nothing worth it. Does it look like I'm playing with you? And my fruit is also exchanging for your wine recipe. Yimo added plainly. Everyone looked at Yimo in shock thinking he was robbing the wine. Dunyang Hotel had been here for all these years. If anyone could rob it, it wouldn't survive till today. Slash! A red light flashed and a red ring appeared above Dunyang's head. There seemed to be a magic artifact jumping around inside. My shop is small, but not everyone can rob it. Take your fruit back. I'm not trading. Dunyang sneered as her killing intent exploded. Yimo didn't seem to notice it and said, although I want good things when I see it, I'm not low enough to rob it. Look at my thing first. If you like it, then trade. If not, I'll take it and leave immediately. Seeing Yimo wasn't joking at all, Dunyang felt strange too. Okay, in that case, I'll have a look. Dunyang grabbed the jade box and opened the restriction. There was a blue fruit laying in the middle. It didn't have any arrow. Dunyang dazed. What fruit was this? How could it exchange for the 3 kettles and the recipe? Emperor with blue fruit? The scrawny old man said subconsciously, You really have emperor with blue fruit? Where did you get it? Yimo acted as though he didn't hear this series of questions and said to Dunyang, What do you think? Why should he tell this scrawny old man? Plus, this old man gave him a subtle threatening feeling. This really is emperor with blue fruit? It can allow immortal emperor to break through without any barrier and feel the Tao waves of the heavens. Dunyang asked. Yimo closed the jade box and put the restrictions back on before slowly asking, I didn't expect there to be someone to recognize it. Saves me the trouble of explaining. That's right, this is emperor with blue fruit. It's up to you if you want to trade it. If not, I'm leaving now. The old woman didn't seem to know, but after hearing Dunyang's words, her eyes lit up more than the old man. This was definitely something beyond level 9 immortal spirit item. She didn't expect a mere immortal king had this many things. I knew about the fruit from Little Mud immortal friend, I trust him. Dunyang pointed at the scrawny old man. Yimo almost laughed. This was a really queer name, Little Mud immortal friend. Little Mud immortal friend is really knowledgeable. Yimo laughed and saluted with his fists to this old man. Haha, immortal friend, you rarely has a lot of good things. If I'm not wrong, you're not yet immortal king, right? I didn't expect someone who's not immortal emperor to have this many good things. The scrawny old man's eyes were fixed on the jade box even when talking to Yimo. Seeing this, Yimo breathed easy. It seemed that this old man wasn't immortal emperor peak stage yet. Otherwise, he wouldn't even care about it. It's not Little Mud immortal friends concern what my cultivation level is. Who said that those who aren't immortal emperor can't have emperor with blue fruit, right? Emo felt the old man's pressure press over and said in contempt, I'm willing to trade, but my black wine can't make up a kettle. I can give you 1 blue, 2 white and 1 bottle of black. Dunyang said. Emo laughed. 1 bottle of black wine is fine, but I didn't hear you mention the recipe. Sorry, we're not going to disclose our recipe. Dunyang wasn't as polite as before, seeing that Emo wasn't Immortal Emperor. Emo didn't mind and took the jade box. In that case, never mind. Let's go to the palace now then. The old woman rejoiced seeing Emo take the jade box. Emo sneered inside. How could he not tell what the old woman's intentions were? Sorry, I don't want to team up with you. Immortal friend you, if you and your wife wants to team up with me, we can go to now. If not, I'm going alone. Emo rejected the old woman and said to Yu Lexing and Xianxia, You dare to go in the river with 2 mere immortal monarchs? The old woman asked. Is there a problem? Emo sneered. With his current power, how can he be scared of an immortal emperor? Middle-stage old hag. Martial sister Kai Lu. Since this guy thinks he's too good, then we can team up. The scrawny old man smiled. The old woman laughed. In that case, I'll team up with little mud martial brother. I believe everyone here is immortal spirit body and above. If you want to join us, then follow behind me. Guy Xianxia and the white-haired immortal monarch thought about it and stood behind the old woman. The people from the second table all stood behind them too. Emo was certain that if he didn't take out Emperor would Blue Fruit, the 2 immortal emperors definitely wouldn't team up to go into the river now, but even so he wasn't scared. Brother Shang. Xianxia saw the original squad split up into 2 and looked worriedly at Yu Lexing. Theoretically, they should be joining up with the 2 immortal emperors. Sister Qiong, let's join Brother Yi. This is our last time going in. If there's still no result, we won't be coming back here again. Yu Lexing soon made a decision. After knowing Emo wasn't immortal emperor yet, he called Emo Brother Yi. Brother Shang, isn't this too risky? We're offending people and putting ourselves into danger. Xianxia sound transmission to Yu Lexing. She was worried about Emo's power. Emo wasn't immortal emperor yet. Even if his domain was strong against murderous Qi, he was the only one. Yu Lexing didn't answer. He trusted she would understand him. Emo could drink an entire kettle in one go. How could he be ordinary? Such person would have greater potential. Plus, even if Emo joined the 2 immortal emperors, they might not be able to reach the Lightning Kill God Palace. However, he was planning to leave here and gamble for one last time. He had decided that if they couldn't go forward in the river, they would leave. At the same time, he felt that Emo was more trustworthy than the old woman and scrawny old man. Even if they couldn't go to the palace, it would be making a friend. As for the immortal monarchs teaming up with the old woman and scrawny old man, they probably just wanted to use the immortal emperor domain to find wine kill stones in the river. Emo looked at Yu Lexing with new light. Despite them splitting off with immortal emperor, he still didn't change his mind and teamed up with him. The old woman heard this and sneered. She didn't care if Yu Lexing joined them or not, but she cared about the map he had. Now, the map was on Emo. She knew that without Emo it was impossible for them to get into the river. As for teaming up, both she and the old man knew it was for Emo's items. This immortal friend, can you sell a copy of the map to me? Little mud immortal friend smiled to Yu Lexing. Yu Lexing said with trouble, Qian Bei. I already gave the map to Yi Qian Bei. Very well, very well. The old man sneered. How could he not understand what Yu Lexing meant? Since they weren't the same team, of course he couldn't give the map to him. Then, he said to Emo, Immortal friend Yi, can you sell me a copy of the map? Sure, but I need a recipe of the wine. Emo said. Clearly, this old man had some connections to Dunyang. As soon as Emo said this, the old man narrowed his eyes. The recipe is Dunyang's, how could I have it? But I can give you other things like immortal pills or wine kill stone. No, Emo said, and then said to the couple, let's go. Seeing Emo leave, the 2 quickly followed. They offended everyone here. If they stayed, it wouldn't be good. How long have you 2 been here? Seeing the 2 follow, Emo asked. The main reason we came to the river is to find something. Body refinement is just a bonus, but we didn't expect that we didn't find what we wanted, but our body refinement reached immortal spirit body tertiary stage. Yu Lixing laughed bitterly. He didn't say what he was looking for. Emo didn't ask, but he could guess it was in the palace. With your cultivation level, where can you get to in the river? Emo asked. Yu Lixing thought and said, if it's just us two, we can only enter 100 meters into the river. If it's teaming up with others and our domains stacked, we can go deeper but not to the bottom. As for the lightning kill god palace, we can't even get close unless the tide comes. But that takes too long, we can't afford to wait. After we got the map, we didn't dare to team up with others. We're deciding to leave here, and seeing Brother Ye's straightforward, I wanted to gamble. Emo laughed. But you didn't expect me to not team up with that old woman, right? Emo saw in the jade slip Dunyang gave him that the tide came everyone 100,000 years. Who would wait here? Yu Lixing laughed awkwardly. Yes. If Brother Yi teamed up with the two immortal Emperor Chen Bais, we might really be able to reach the palace. He was implying that they wouldn't be able to reach the palace alone. Emo said in contempt, if I teamed up with them, you two would be suffering the most, not me. Do you think in times of danger that old woman would care about you? They might not even care about me. I would definitely not team up with such people. Plus, I don't need to team up with them. Is there a lot of immortal emperors here? Emo saw Yu Lixing realizing that too. Yu Lixing quickly answered, there's not a lot of immortal emperors, but every period of time there would be immortal emperors coming. There's only 6 who always stay here. The scrawny old man is one of them. Kai Lu also comes frequently. There's quite some immortal monarchs and immortal kings. Most immortal monarchs are here for body refinement, meanwhile some immortal kings can't even get close to the river. Emo nodded. Tell me about the river. It's my first time here. Has anyone crossed the river? The water in the river contains murderous chi that would invade the sea of consciousness like blades. It's very painful. There are also immortal spirit beasts in the river called abyssal dark shark. This fish is very ferocious and savage. It loves ambushing body refinement cultivators. Yu Lixing said with fear. Clearly he encountered one before. As they spoke, Emo saw the vast river and the extremely sharp murderous chi. It was much murderous than at the Dunyang Hotel. However, it didn't really affect him. Seeing Emo have it so easy, Yu Lixing and Shi Qiong breathed easy. Emo waved his hand and Shadowless appeared before them. Seeing the golden-winged Shadowless, the two retreated a few steps. Emo quickly said, don't worry, this is my immortal pet. Such a cool immortal spirit beast. It's like a dragon horse. Yu Lixing praised. Shadowless wanted to ask Emo if here was the Qingwei Abyssal River, but hearing Yu Lixing praise him, he immediately gloated. You have keen eyes. Dragon horse is nothing. To me, it's just a matter of a bite. Yu Lixing didn't mind that Shadowless could speak, but he was shocked that Shadowless didn't fear the murderous chi here. Seeing Yu Lixing want to ask what Shadowless was, Emo quickly asked first. Brother Yu, do you know who that Xiao Tu is? Emo felt this Xiao Tu was strange. He felt very ancient, a type of ancient that he only felt from Kaimi before. This Xiao Tu seemed even more ancient than Kaimi. I don't know who he is, I just know he's very powerful. Even though there's 3 tables in the shop, the 3rd table is his no matter how many people there are. No one dares to use his table. But usually he doesn't attack others if they don't offend him. Yu Lixing looked worriedly at Emo. Brother Yi, you probably offended him today, so after coming out I suggest Brother Yi don't go back to Dunyang Hotel. How do you know he won't attack me here? Emo asked. Shi Qiong suddenly added, one spirit sense can't scan out more than 100 meters in here. When we came out, we left our original tracks. They wouldn't be able to find us. So that was it. Emo scanned his spirit sense out. His spirit sense had domain but could only scan 1,000-meter radius. Brother Yu, let's go down from here. Emo looked at the jade slip and said, Brother Yi, you're saying to go in from here? Yu Lixing saw Emo stand by the river and asked in shock. If Emo really was going down from here, then he would have to leave according to his original plan. Emo smiled. Of course not. I made a boat to cross the river. Then Emo took out a level 8 immortal artifact and threw it on the river. Forging level 8 immortal artifact was shocking enough, but Yu Lixing didn't look at the magic artifact. He stared at Yimo with astonishment. Brother Yi, you said you want to cross the Qingwei Abyssal River? Going to the palace is just on the way. My main purpose is to cross the river. By the way, do you know what's on the opposite side of the river? Yimo said. Yu Lixing just realized that he didn't hear wrong. Yimo was really trying to cross the river. He said seriously, Brother Yi, the closer you are to the center of the river, the heavier the murderous qi is. One mistake and you would be ground to mince. I once saw an immortal emperor tertiary stage, who was an immortal god body primary stage, never come out after entering the river. Perhaps he crossed the river. Yemo smiled. The murderous qi here was strong, but it didn't concern him. He had stayed in that lethal force dimension in the void for so long. He was used to such environment. Plus, his spirit sense domain had a strong effect dealing with the murderous qi. Seeing Yemo being stubborn, Xianxia didn't want Yu Lixing to say more, so she said, Brother Shang, Brother Yi probably knows what he's doing. If there really is danger in the river, we can retreat. Yu Lixing knew what she meant, of course, and nodded. In that case, let's do it. It's said that the other side of the river is an icy world. The ice is so cold that it can freeze one's soul and spirit sense. Even if Brother Yi can cross the river, it's best you don't go there. Freeze soul and spirit sense? Yemo had never heard of such terrifying cold. I've only just heard about it. We've been here for a few centuries and have heard all sorts of strange things. Yu Lixing said in awkwardness. Let's go on the ship. I'm going to drive. Shadowless got on. Seeing Yemo and Shadowless not fear the murderous qi at all. The two couldn't help admire Yemo and his pet. Compared to that, Yemo being an immortal forgery grandmaster wasn't so amazing anymore. After going in, Yemo's spirit sense domain and immortal monarch domain stacked together and expanded out. At the same time, he fused his understanding of killing force with what he learned from the blue wine. In order to find their common point, Yemo smashed his killing force with the murderous qi from outside. An extremely terrifying yet violent killing intent rush into Yemo's sea of consciousness. Yemo spat a mouthful of blood and immediately sat on the deck while saying to Shadowless, head to the palace. Then he stopped talking. After the two got on, they didn't feel that murderous qi at all. This made them respect Yemo. Yemo's domain was this powerful that they couldn't feel a sliver of murderous qi. This was something they had never seen before. But before they could thank him, Yemo spat a mouthful of blood. The two were stunned. They had only left the bank about 50 meters. Even they could survive this level of murderous qi as long as there were no sharks. But now Yemo just spat a mouthful of blood. How could they go to the lightning kill god palace now? They didn't know that the reason Yemo spat blood was because his spirit sense charged out of his domain and went out a few thousand meters, twisting with large amounts of murderous qi. At the same time, he felt the murderous qi of that powerful being who created the river. Now, Yemo completely fused himself into this murderous qi. As his spirit sense domain extended outside of his domain, he had a more clear feeling of this murderous qi. That was the lethal force of his god art. That's right, when killing intent and killing qi mixed together, it would force killing force. He learned killing force very early on, but never had he had such a direct and clear feeling like today. He clearly grasped that powerful being's killing force. Under his permission, waves of murderous qi flowed into Yemo's sea of consciousness and ravaged his sea of consciousness. The evil qi was burned to nothing by the heaven flame, while the killing intent and killing qi was fused into Yemo's own god art. At the same time, his sea of consciousness began perfecting. His spirit sense domain was clearer, and he was practicing god art and spirit sense attacks in his sea of consciousness. Yemo's eyes were tight shut, but he was overjoyed. He knew what was going on. His spirit will 9 transformations reached level 4. Never had he feel spirit will 9 transformations this clearly. What's going on? Yu Lixing saw that Yemo controlled the ship and left the river more than 1,000 meters, but they were completely fine. As soon as Yu Lixing said this, a dark shadow charged into Yemo's domain. Abyss dark shark. Xianxia called out in shock. The darker their color, the scarier they were. Even Shadowless was shocked by the speed of this shark. Nor did Shadowless expect it could break into Boss's domain. Before he could eat this shark, a purple ray swept over. Splat! The shark fell onto the deck bleeding. Emo got up and Zissou was carried on his back. The instant he learned his new killing force, his domain shrunk and the shark got in. His new move carried his newly learned killing force and struck out. It instantly locked onto the shark and killed it in one strike. Brother Yi. Yu Lushing could tell now that Emo had new learnings for his god art. Emo smiled satisfyingly. This powerful being destroyed the immortal realm, but it's not completely bad. This killing force is unheard of. Destroyed the immortal realm? Yu Lushing asked. I'll tell you when I have time. I need to cultivate my god art. Then Emo raised Zissou. Countless murderous chi gathered over, but moments later, the murderous chi disappeared. Emo attacked with Zissou faster and faster, and the nearby evil chi was getting dimmer and dimmer. The killing intent and killing chi seemed to have been sucked away by Emo. By the time the two reacted, they felt Emo take back his domain. The nearby murderous chi were very faint. They didn't feel anything uncomfortable at all. Even an ordinary immortal king could defend against the murderous chi, now much less them. Yu Lushing and his wife glanced at each other. Their eyes were covered in shock. They didn't even dare to imagine Emo could do this. Yu Lushing was certain that the old woman's team might not have it as easy as them. No wonder Emo didn't want to join up with them. He didn't need to join up with anyone. He probably took them because he reminded him and gave him the map.